What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tiege pack. Tiege makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tiege Hanley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tiege pack. Feel the Tiege, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show, and I am your illustrious host, Anton Daniels. I appreciate you guys. Let me give an early round of applause and an early hit for the people that support me on the platform, including Next Level on Cash App, and then my dog, Mike That Dude. I appreciate you. Thank you to everybody that support the platform. Let me say this first and foremost, that I don't ask for Cash Apps. I don't ask for Super Chats, but because you guys see value in what we do here and see value on the platform, you contribute. And so I'm always going to acknowledge the people that hold me down because, you know, I got to be appreciative. I'm very, very appreciative of the people that support me. So shout out to you guys. I think it's going to be an awesome show. I thought it was going to be a laid back show today, but I think it's going to be an awesome, dynamic show today. We got a lot of things to discuss. We got to discuss the sheriffs over there at Broward County, PPP loaning. We definitely got to talk about the lawsuit associated with Tyrese, DJ Envy. I haven't really talked about DJ Envy for a while, but DJ Envy, we're going to have to bring him to the front of the congregation in order to understand what's going on with him. No judgment. And then I also want to talk about credit cards. All right, so let me get the housekeeping out of the way. Make sure y'all tap into that Tiege Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Obviously, I'm live streaming from home. Make sure that you tap into the Patreon. That link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat in order to align yourself with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. Also, for the Patreon members, in order to tap into the Discord, the link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos. So if you want to tap into the Discord, if you want to rock out with it, make sure you tap into the Discord. We're going to get it rocking. We're going to get it popping, and we're going to go from there. Let me get a check-in with the chat to see where y'all tapping in from. Let me know where y'all tapping in from. You in Detroit, you in Chicago, you in Philly, you in Los Angeles, D.C., New York, Miami, Tampa, Orlando. Where is all of my people at today? You on the road? Where y'all at? Milwaukee, Nashville, Memphis. Where everybody tapping in from today? I'm curious. I'm tapping in from home out here in the suburb of Detroit. A lot of y'all seen my video over in Detroit yesterday, and so you're familiar with the idea of me actually moving back into the inner city, but we'll get back into that in a second. Let me see where y'all tapping in from. I see Toronto, Florida, Houston, South Carolina, DMV. Good morning. What up? Good morning, Brittany. Qbert, I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. VA, DMV, Savannah, Georgia, Cyberspace, Atlanta, Austin, Texas, Fort Lauderdale, Broward County. We're going to bring Broward County to the front of the congregation today. San Antonio, Jacksonville, Florida. Pete is in St. Pete, or Florida boys in St. Pete. Fort Wayne, Maryland, Detroit. What up to my Detroit baby, Miss Lady J in the building? I appreciate you. Utah. I love Utah. Houston, Durban, Cary, North Carolina, Baltimore, San Diego, Philly, OKC, Columbus, Detroit. What up, though? Great state of Florida, Gary, Indiana, Houston, H-Town, Philly. Let's see, Bay Area, rainy London, the Gym, Baltimore, Covington, Illinois, Miami, Florida, Alabama, St. Croix. Shout out to my people over there. Canada, shout out to my Canadians. Abu Dhabi, what up, though? Long Island, Ohio, Houston, Los Angeles, Philly, Langhorne, Philly, Detroit, what up, though? Louisville, Montreal, Elk Grove, San Antonio. I got to get out to San Antonio. You in Howell today? Shout out to my Howell people over here in Metro Detroit. Chester, Baltimore, dropping a low. What's up to my girl Sherelle? Houston, San Antonio, Bama, Rio Rancho, Lacey, Washington, Providence, Rhode Island, Houston, Ohio, North Carolina, Detroit. What up, though, Memise? Tennessee, Vero Beach, Charlotte, New York. Been finding these topics interesting lately. Yeah, it's gonna get hit. It's gonna get hyped today. What up to all of my people all across the world? Venezuela, Chicago. What up? What up? What up? So one of the things that we like to do on Friday is we like to open it up for you guys to be able to call in. You do not have to be on camera. You do not have to be on camera. If you choose to be on camera, I'll accommodate you. If you say, Anton, I don't want to be on camera, we can do that too, and we can just have a conversation. But I like to open up the chat on Friday, or open up the live stream on Friday towards the end of the show for the people that disagree with me. Now, I got time today. Yep, I did all of my closing documents. I sent the wire over for the new property. I'm going to talk about that on the Patreon. Been busy, right? So we got the title and company, and they taking care of all of that, and then they getting it over to me today. So I'm working from home. I'm making sure that that's taken care of. But I got time today, and I've allocated time today in order to be able to accommodate for anybody that disagree with me. So I'm opening up the chat for anybody that disagrees with me on anything that I've been saying over the past week or so. You may disagree with me on Chicago. You may disagree with me on Brandon Johnson. You may disagree with me on something that I say today. I am opening it up. Anybody that got smoke, you are more than welcome to come on and hold me accountable. I do this every single Friday. So please don't sit here and say that you ain't never had an opportunity to tap in. You do. If you got a disagreement, let's get it in. Let's figure it out. It could be something easy, nice, cordial, or it could be something that you feel like I said on another platform. Who knows? But I am opening it up. Thank you, Social Sis, says she liked my hoodie. I got this from the Dirt Label. It's a place in Detroit called the Dirt Label. It's the Tupac Bear by the Dirt Label. So y'all go over there and buy y'all Tupac Bear shirts or hoodies. I don't get nothing from it, but I just like to support content creators that's out here doing great things. The Dirt Label Tupac Bear, you can go and get that over there. Also, people love good quality. You can get that at they spot on their website. I like to support the people, and so we're going to get it in. All right, so now that I know that you guys are going to cam up with all of your disagreements towards the end of the show, let's deep dive into it. So one thing that I was trying to figure out before we get into Tyrese, DJ Envy, Broward County, and all of that stuff. The one thing that I was trying to figure out, and I was actually talking about this last night. So I got into the house pretty early yesterday. So I didn't have to live stream. So on Thursdays, I try to get into bed as early as possible because I finally have the opportunity to be able to get into bed early, wake up in the morning, get my workout in, get some stuff taken care of, and then prepare for Fight Club because we got Fight Club tonight. So make sure you tap into that. And tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And so I was going over my stuff, right? Now, I got a Chase Sapphire Reserve card, right? And I formally switched over from American Express. And a lot of you are familiar with that. So I had an American Express Platinum, and I switched over to the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, right? And I was trying to figure it out. And then I don't know if my phone just always is listening to me or what, but I'm listening, I'm on my phone or whatever, and I'm scrolling through, and then I jump on TikTok, and I see this chick that's talking about her credit card debt, right? And so I'm having this conversation with myself, and I'm like, yo, why credit cards are for poor people in the middle class? It has to be. Credit cards have to be for poor people in the middle class. It's no other way for me to break this out. And again, y'all are more than welcome to be able to come up here and debate me or say whatever it is that you want to say or whatever, so on and so forth. But it has to be. It has to be for poor people or the middle class because it makes no sense whatsoever. Let me share with you what it is that I see, and then I'll break it down for you as to why it is that I see it that way. All right? Or maybe I should just share my screen with you and tell you why. So let me share my screen with you first, and then I'll show you why I came to the conclusion that credit cards got to be for poor people and for the middle class. That's the only reason. It's the only way that they can make money. It's the only way that credit card companies can make money. Let me share with you. And again, y'all are more than welcome to be able to come up here and hold me accountable as a result of it. But let me share my screen. So this is my screen right here, right? I just switched over this year. I literally just switched over to the Chase Sapphire Reserve a little later in the year. I think it might have been spring. Might have been spring, or it might have been, I don't remember. It was like spring, summer is when I switched over. A lot of y'all were on the live stream when I said, hey, I'm getting rid of my American Express, but I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve now, right? And so if you look over here where it says earnings, I've earned close to 600,000 points, which, depending on how you redeem them, is the equivalent of like between $9,000 and $13,000 of how you redeem them. One of the ways in which I was able to use my points was when I went over to Tokyo and I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton. I think it cost me like 12 or 13,000 points, and then I just redeemed some more in order to get the hotel that I'm gonna be meeting y'all at. My hotel that I'm gonna be staying at when I go over there to DC or whatever. And so the things that I can't write off, or the things that I'm not writing off, or if I just want to save some money in my budget, I save it. So the interesting part about it though is that I'm using this card, right? And I don't use my credit card in the same way that everybody else does, because I have to have a credit card in order to get a rental car. I gotta have a credit card in order to get a hotel. I gotta have a credit card in order to do certain things, right? And so when you think about it, even when you're talking about, it says 3 points for travel purchases, the overwhelming majority of what I've used my credit card for is travel. I use it for business. I do all of that, right? And see, I see somebody in the chat, Data Star says, nah, AD, credit cards is free money with points. Why would I ever just use a debit card with no points? Okay, so let's have that conversation, right? I have never paid one dot of interest at all. You know why? Because I only use it when I'm taking care of business. And then on top of that, on top of the fact that I only use it when I'm taking care of business, the other part of that is I have the available money and the resources to pay off the entirety of it when I use it, right? So is credit cards a bad thing? For the overwhelming majority of people, it is. That's why credit card debt is at 1 trillion. And so when I see Dana start saying that, you saying it in the idealistic phase, right? You're not saying it based off of what the reality is for the majority of people. So people that I know, every single person that I know, right, that has a excessive amount of resources, that have a high net worth, that have a lot of money, they use their credit card in order to travel for business. They pay off the entirety of it. You know what I'm saying? Before the statement date is, right? Or before the due date is, and they pay off the entire balance, and they're not using it as an excuse to buy more than they normally would. They're not being savvy, taken advantage of because of the marketing department. They basically giving me money. They're giving me $10, $20, $30,000 a year because I spend so much money. I am a Diamond Medallion member on Delta. I fly and I spend a majority of my time when I'm going over to other places, right? I spend a lot of money traveling, vlogging, doing real estate and all of this stuff, right? And so it don't hurt me. It actually helps me. And everybody that I know that has a huge net worth or this, makes a lot of money, they're using it for stuff that they was going to already use it on anyway. And they need the credit card in order to be able to fly or travel or get a rental car or whatever. And so because we never, ever, ever carry a balance, I'm basically getting $10, $20, $30,000 in benefits and redemptions, right? When I get, if I was to buy my personal iPhone, I wouldn't buy my personal iPhone with money. I could literally redeem this for Apple. Think about it. My personal expenses is being basically taken care of in points because I spend so much, and it's only beneficial to me because I spend so much. So when you see a regular person and they're using a credit card and they say, well, Anton, you use it for points or whatever. You don't even spend enough money to actually make it make sense for you. You got to basically save up points for the next 2 to 3 years in order to get the flight that you want. But because I use mine so much for business, because I'm using it for things that I'm already using it for business, then when I go to Tokyo, my stay at the Ritz-Carlton for the next 9-10 days is free. My iPhones are free. My redemptions when it comes to my hotel rooms, when I want to go out and I want to take my chick out to a staycation or we want to do something that's unrelated to business is free. And so all of the people that's making a whole lot of money is basically getting everything. It's like rich people are getting richer every day. Rich people just getting richer every single day. Credit cards. So then when I start to make that make sense, I say, oh, okay. And then I looked at the video. And so let me share with you the video that came across my timeline. I mean, my redemptions, I ain't even had this card for probably no more than 4 or 5 months. I already made $600,000, $444,000 in redemptions. I got $17,000 in pending. So you know what I'm spending every month. I'm spending crazy. Like my expenses related to business is insane, right? So everything is a business transaction. And then when I want to make a personal purchase or I want to make a personal redemption, I get my personal stuff for free because I spend so much money. But it only benefits you if you decide that if you are generating a lot of revenue, if you're spending a lot of money on business related expenses, and you have the type of assets and resources to where you never carry a balance. I don't even care what the interest rates on all the cards. I've never checked the interest rate on this Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Not one time have I ever checked the interest rate. Not one time have I ever checked the interest rate. You know why? Because they will never get a dime out of me. They will never get a dime out of me from a business perspective. You will never get one dime out of me. I'm gonna be reading y'all super chat shortly. Now let me show you the other side of the coin, right? So this is the video that showed up on my timeline. I saved it, I downloaded it, and I wanted to share it with you to show you what other people, honestly, other people are going through on a regular basis. Let me share it with you.
Come with me to figure out how much debt I'm in. We'll start with my lowest credit card. That would be my Discover card, $606.77. I've been paying that one off for the past, I don't know how long, probably a year. I'm almost paid that off, so I'm pretty proud of that. Now my Chase card has $5,000. I keep fucking saying that. My Chase card has $2,594.11. And that brings the highest credit card to $3,280.11, which is my Citi card. That brings the grand total of credit cards to $6,480.99, just shy of that round number. A lot easier with Credit Karma, so I'm just going to log into that. Here we've got Credit Karma. So now we have my loans. So first loan I have, that would be my personal loan because I was already in debt and I already used a personal loan to pay off the debt. Just got into more debt. Can't get another personal loan. Probably a good thing. I have $1,461 left on that personal loan and $16 left on another one that I pretty much paid off. And then on my car loan, that's a whole story. So in February last year, totaled my car. It was a weather-related incident. I live in New England. It was really icy out and I lost control of my car and went right into a guardrail. So that got me $8,593 into an auto loan, which is my most hated loan. I really hate that one. It's a lot of money. It's $180 a month, which isn't as much as most people's car loans.
Now think about what she's saying right here, right? It's taking her some time in order to get out of debt, and it's taking her some time, but she's continuing to be in a rat race because she's already continuing to be under duress. And the entire time, think about it, the biggest tax that you have is the interest. It ain't even the amount of money that they're taking out of your paycheck. The biggest, you're in a race to the bottom as a poor person or as a person that stands in the middle class. Because what they've done is they've gamified credit, and they use people like me, right? Because they say, well, we're going to entice you with all of the point system, and you can redeem it for flights and credit and buy stuff at Apple and all of this stuff, right? And so they sell you on that. But here's the reality of it. They're using the fact that I'm able to jump on the internet and show you my bank statements and show you my redemptions, and they're banking on me continuing to do that in order to motivate you to then get a credit card and then say that, oh, well, listen, you can do it too as long as you pay off your balance. But that's not what's going to happen, because we're over $1 trillion in credit card debt. That ain't even got nothing to do with auto loans. That don't have nothing to do with personal loans. That don't have nothing to do with mortgage. That don't have nothing to do with student loans. The United States of America alone is over $1 trillion in credit card debt. So when I see people in the chat and they say, well, Anton, credit cards are actually a good thing. For who? For me or for you? Because the people that's trying to figure it out, they keep asking Biden for student loan forgiveness. They've been paying an exorbitant amount of, shout out to my dog Jay Whitfin, I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. They've been paying an exorbitant amount, and I'm going to open up the chat at the end of the show for anybody that disagree with me. They've been paying an exorbitant amount of interest just to gamify or be gamified, as far as them selling you on the idea that you need to have a credit card, and you don't even understand how credit cards work. You don't understand that you have to have a long history with it. You don't even understand that it's your payment history. It's also your credit card utilization rate. It's a lot of different factors that go into your credit score, which then gamifies the ability for you to continue to leverage that credit to buy things that you don't need, being enticed by the marketing that comes along with them understanding your psyche, and then you looking at videos from me saying that how it is that I'm redeeming my points in order to get things that other people would normally pay for. But the fine print is that they never make a dime off of me, but they are leveraging the marketing tools to make a bunch of money off of y'all. So it's a whole lot of little people, and I'm not saying y'all specifically, but just in general, it's a whole lot of middle class and little people that are then utilizing credit cards, and the stats and the data and the statistics prove it, being enticed by the idea that they need good credit but don't even understand how credit is being leveraged by people that have resources in order to continue to level up and then raise up their net worth. And then you pay an exorbitant amount of interest, often at times above 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25%. Some people are paying 29% interest on credit card payments, personal loan payments, student loans, and all of this other type of stuff, with the illusion that they're coming out ahead before they start to get into it in the point system that they're then going to leverage, as far as Chase, American Express, Capital One, whoever it is that can give you a credit card. And they're making an exorbitant amount of money just off of loaning you money to do things that you otherwise wouldn't have did if you had to budget effectively. You are literally being finessed by not only credit card people, the credit card companies, but rich people. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. I am never going to pay any interest on that Chase Sapphire Reserve card. I don't even carry a balance from month to month. And I don't even care about credit, because I'm not even leveraging credit or using credit to do anything that I'm doing from a business perspective, other than get it and use it for the things that I have to use it for based off of the requirements from the rental car companies, from the hotel companies, and all of that other type of stuff. And then I take advantage of all of the perks. I get all of the free stuff that you would normally pay your regular money for. So you go in, trade your time for money, and then you go and finance an iPhone. Meanwhile, they giving it to me for free. And then I'm supposed to market it to you. A lot of people wonder, Anton, why don't you talk about credit cards? How come you don't tell us how it is that we can use that? Because I don't think that most people are responsible enough to use the credit cards, nor do they spend enough money for it to actually matter as far as the amount of fees that they're paying for the point systems. Don't you know that the Points Guy and all of these other companies and all of this other type of stuff, they're literally being paid and incentivized for you to click on that link. When you go on Credit Karma, you click on that link, they get a fee when you then get approved or you sign up for this credit card, and then they get blessed as a result of it. They're leveraging them, and they're saying that they're educating you by keeping you gamified to be in this whole credit rat race, and then it's a race to the bottom because she's going to spend the next year of her life, 2 years of her life, 3 years of her life trying to pay off something while also paying the interest for it, and then she's going to find herself right back into it the minute that she crashed her car because she got to go and finance another car at a 7-8% interest rate. The only people that's getting finessed is the people that's already getting overtaxed as a result of it. Don't worry, I'm going to open up the chat for y'all to be able to say whatever y'all want to say. We going to get there today. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to move over because I want to get over into some more important things before I open up the stream for y'all. Cubert Rain says, happy Friday, my friend. Peace and blessings to you. And the chat, hashtag 50 million is coming. I believe that for sure. Shout out to Cubert Rain, my friend. I appreciate you. Jimmy H just came through and dropped the fireball inside of the collection plate. My dog Mike Dub says, what up, Anton? Keep spreading that knowledge. Finally had my surgery for my knee. Shout out to my dog Mike Dub. Looking to see him on Fight Club tonight. P. Shank says, good morning. I have one credit card with a zero balance, and I just opened up a Home Depot credit card for some home remodeling, but will pay it off with no interest. Wealth Building Journey is in the building. Says, it's not like the rich are getting richer. It's not like the rich are getting richer. Thanks to the rich owning inflation-protected, income-producing assets, the rich are getting richer. I agree with that. Shout out to my dog, Jay Woodfin is in the building. Hold on, let me give him the... I am having the credit. It's a reason why I choose not to talk as much about credit, because I don't think that people are to the point to where they can use it effectively, nor do I think that they really understand it as much as maybe you do, because you are the expert. Shout out to my dog, Jay Whitfin, in the building. Jerome says, I used to think rich people really liked me until I found out I was a reward point in tax write-off. I got to give you the... And then the Dream is in the building. Shout out to the Dream. The Dream just came through and dropped that off in the collection plate. Thank you, my friend, for continuing to hold me down. Let me continue on with the show. Again, make sure you share this with your family and friends. Hit a like for the algorithm and let's get it popping. All right, so let's go over to the next thing because I want to hopefully get through these subjects as fast as possible, just so I can open it up for you guys to give me all of your disagreements, and then we can go from there. Let's go here. So, you thought you got away, didn't you? Yeah. I told y'all, listen, Biden literally signed a bill into law. I'm going to read that shortly, Jamal Fowler. Biden literally signed a bill into law that allows for them to chase you down for the next 10 years. Biden signed a bill into law that allows for them to be able to chase you down for the next 10 years. Meaning, they're not necessarily in a rush. They just taking their time in order to build up the case against you. So everybody that went out there and y'all was PPPing it up, and I was warning y'all, I said, y'all, don't do that. Don't do it. It's not free money. It's not free money. It's not free money. I know you think that you smarter than everybody else. It's a setup. It's a setup. They not losing nothing. They not tripping off of it. All you doing is running up inflation. I seen a Lamborghini dealership was booming. Now everybody ain't got no G-Wagon, For some reason, a Lamborghini dealership only selling back to the rich again. Everybody was trying to go and get a Lambo. Everybody all of a sudden was trying to get a G-Wagon. Everybody was riding in the baby Benz, the BMWs and all of that. All of a sudden, money was everywhere. We didn't know where the money was coming from. I said, is everybody just leapfrogging me? I'm working my butt off every single day, and I'm doing really, really well in life, and all of these people just seem to just be booming. I don't know if everybody in Atlanta and Miami and Florida, Broward County, over in LA, Texas was booming. Houston was starting to come on back up. I said, where is everybody getting all of this money from? Even the cops. I seen police officers pulling up in that new Charger Hellcat. I said, they paying them that type of money? I mean, I knew the nurses was booming, but I didn't know that police officers and sheriffs was getting to the bag too. I said, well, let me find out what's going on out in these streets.
We are now hearing from Broward Sheriff Gregory Toney after 17 deputies have been arrested and charged with fraud. Local 10's Roy Ramos is live with this developing story. Roy.
Nicole, and we have learned that nearly 100 BSO employees did apply for the PPP loans. And of the 100, 17 of them are now facing federal charges. Well, as you mentioned,
let's put that in perspective. Over 100 Broward County employees or sheriffs. Wait. This is just over in the sheriff's department over there in Broward County. Shout out to Fort Lauderdale. Over 100 applied. 17 of them just got arrested. 17 of them just got arrested. See, everybody was quiet. Everybody thought everything had went away. Oh, man, they ain't coming after me. I ain't tripping about it. I ain't tripping. I'm good. Take me to jail. Throw away the key. 17 sheriffs are now being arrested and charged. Let's continue.
Mentioned today, we did get a chance to speak with Broward Sheriff Gregory Toney about these allegations, and he says if his employees were involved in this type of criminal activity, they do not deserve to be working in the law enforcement profession. Did you believe you were receiving these loans legitimately? 17 members of the Broward Sheriff's Office, which include
mostly black people? Say it ain't so. Wait. Mostly black people? No, family. No, we ain't having it.
BSO deputies and detention deputies released from the federal courthouse in Fort Lauderdale after being indicted on charges that include wire fraud.
Look at them. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Nah, I'll find out later. I ain't worried about that right now. Was it worth it? Was it worth it, my people? My people, my people, my people, my people.
After federal investigators said they fraudulently applied for and received funds from the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP loans.
Bonds were set. They're being released. Nobody, as far as I know, is being detained. And we'll take it from there. We'll be back in court.
Attorney Brian Silber represents 3 of the defendants, some of whom have either been suspended or placed on leave pending the outcome of the investigation.
I can't comment on the nature of the case.
While the charging documents do not allege that any of the defendants committed the charged offenses in the course of their official duties, this does not in any way diminish the seriousness of what the defendants are alleged to have done here.
Sheriff Gregory Toney said he first learned of the crimes in November of 2021, prompting him to investigate all 5,500 of his employees, including himself and other top brass. Of the 17 indicted, 7 BSO deputies and 1 sergeant.
Ooh, we got us a modern white woman over there. Modern white woman coming through. Her looks like she probably got a little girlfriend on the side of her.
Enforcement and 8 detention deputies and 1 sergeant in corrections.
I hate to see that, knowing some of the individuals and seeing the names on that list that's being indicted, some of them were good officers, but you're only as good as the last act and conduct that you execute.
We learned the defendants involved received tens of thousands of dollars.
Why are all of these people so big? Who they chasing? Do they got administrative duties? Or are they sitting at the desk? Or are they actually real sheriffs and out here patrolling? And why almost all of them? 99% of them is black people and black women and black men.
And while the investigation has proved that some of whom were investigated did have legitimate businesses, at the very least, the 17 now facing federal charges allegedly did not.
If you're going to be participating.
Larry, let me go straight to the press conference. We don't want to hear that nonsense. We don't want to hear it. Let's talk to this man with the foreign accent. Let's see what he has to say.
Together with the officials standing alongside of me, we are here today to announce federal charges against 17 defendants. Each defendant is charged separately, yielding a total of 17 separate cases or prosecutions. This is not a single indictment involving 17 defendants. Rather, it is 17 separate indictments. As announced in open court earlier today, during the times of the offenses charged, all 17 defendants were employed as sworn officers with the Broward Sheriff's Office. The charges in all these cases spring from schemes to defraud COVID financial relief programs. Over the next few minutes, I'll be sharing some brief remarks. Thereafter, I'll be followed by Assistant Special Agent in Charge Rosen and Sheriff Tony, who I am very grateful to for agreeing to host us here when I asked him. I truly appreciate that. Yes, sir. Once
Look at these strong black men working together. Working together in order to make sure that they clean up our streets of these bad officers.
All have completed our remarks, we'll take a few questions. Now, as I believe most of us are familiar with, over 3.5 years ago, the United States Congress enacted what is commonly known as the CARES Act as a means of providing relief to millions of people suffering significant economic impact from the COVID pandemic. One important program was the Paycheck Protection Program, which is also known by the acronym PPP. The PPP authorized forgivable loans to small businesses for expenses including job retention. Another important program was the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, which is also known by the acronym EIDL, E-I-D-L. The EIDL authorized the extension of loans to small businesses experiencing a shortfall in revenue due to the pandemic at the time. Funds available under these programs were designed to keep small businesses afloat, to allow businesses to provide goods and services to their communities by assisting them in funding business costs. The prosecution of COVID financial fraud offenses has been and continues to be an important priority of federal law enforcement, including in this district. Since the enactment of the CARES Act, the United States Attorney's Office has charged more than 150 cases involving in excess of about $195 million in losses. This is not an abstract crime. It has real consequences, not only to our...
Oh, they coming for you. They still got over 7-8 years to be able to find you. They probably looking at you right now. They said, did this person take the PPP loan? All right, let's go ahead and figure it out. Don't y'all know that they actually have like real tax payrolls and unemployment taxes that you have to pay and so many different employees that you have to justify as actually on your payroll and all of that? Don't y'all know that all of this stuff is documented? What y'all thought? Look, you thought that just because you got an LLC and you filed for an EIN and you was out here and you thought that you can go and get you $1 million and that was just to come up for you, right? You thought that was the end of the conversation? Oh, I got my sole proprietorship. I am a business. Most small business owners are one-person operations that's not even generating revenue or actually executing on becoming a business. They just reserving a name, saying that they're going to start a business with no plan, no revenue, no expenses, no nothing. And you thought that you was just going to wake up, finesse the government, and that they wouldn't track you down and see what was going on in your life. Don't worry about it.
Economy, but also to our federal coffers. Now, you may have heard that the wheels of justice turn slowly, but turn they do. And when individuals take advantage of government programs intended to provide relief to people in need by fraudulently applying and receiving funds from those programs, the federal government will come after you. Whether it be in a year, 2 years, or 5 years, there is a reckoning. The 17 criminal cases announced today mark another significant set of prosecutions in our efforts to combat COVID financial fraud. On May 17, 2021, the Attorney General established COVID-19 Fraud Enforcement Task Force that is to marshal the resources of the Department of Justice in partnership with agencies across government to enhance efforts to combat and prevent pandemic-related fraud.
Basically to chase you down. That's the C student translation.
Now, later on in 2022, the Attorney General selected this district, the Southern District of Florida, to head a national COVID-19 fraud strike force team to enhance existing efforts to fight and prevent COVID-19 related financial fraud. This is a priority for the Department of Justice. And
so long story short, we don't need to see the whole thing. Long story short, they come in to get whoever it is that did it. And if you thought that you got away with it, they still got a little less than a decade to make sure that they Biden, the one that you voted in, he said we got you. They was investigating them for a long time, way before they started. They've been investigating over 100 people that took the loan. So even if you took it justifiably, like if you was in the right, you still gonna be audited to figure out whether or not you did the right thing. You still gonna be audited in order to figure out. Look. Slow money is always the best money. No matter what happens, no matter what they tell you, if it's too good to be true, if it seems like it's just quick money or whatever, I ain't got to work for it, I ain't got to grind, it's the next best thing right next to the lottery. If it's a possibility for it to send you to jail, walk away. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your uncle, your father, the people that's standing next to you. They don't love you if they trying to convince you in order to go ahead and take that PPP loan. That's a fact, though. Stay out of that junk. Shout out to all of the sheriffs. Now we going to need new sheriffs. I knew there was a reason why they was opening up our borders. We got to get some new sheriffs. You know what I'm saying? Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to move on because we're going to get through this quickly. Drop that information on them time, dog. I'm on it, big dog. I got you. Noob Knob S says, when go get the money goes wrong. I'm telling y'all, man, stay out of this mess. Just do it the right way. It's easier. Golden Lady says, Anton, my 50-year-old is wanting to sign up for a STEP account. What are your thoughts on that? Tell him to get in touch with me. If he's 15, I'll give him some game for free. Email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com and we can have that conversation. Shout out to the Golden Lady. And let me say this also. Y'all need to give them the information, but don't push them necessarily to do it. Y'all need to give them the information, but don't push them. Don't push them to do it. Like I know a lot of women, a lot of times they'll say something like, can you mentor my son or whatever, so on and so forth, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't really know, because I don't know if they want to do it, or I don't know if you want to do it, right? I think that's okay. So let me speak to it a little bit. I think that STEP accounts is just basically another form of banking. It doesn't really matter if they open up the account or not. A lot of the ways in which they get you enticed is they try to get you enticed by saying that you're going to get a better savings rate than what a normal traditional banking is. But all of these new banking methods, STEP accounts, whatever, so on and so forth. If I'm him, I'm opening up a brokerage account, right? Open him up a brokerage account. You can open up your broker. My daughter got a brokerage account. Open him up a brokerage account. Teach him the financial literacy that comes along with investing in individual companies, especially the 8 things that I look for when I'm coming to invest in a company. Tell him to do his research. Tell him to come back to you with the companies that's the most meaningful, and then allow for him through you to be able to invest in a lot of these different spaces. Because one of the things that we want to do for our children is we want to allow them to fail, but in a controlled environment. So the more that he learns as far as financial literacy, especially going through it himself, now the more well-versed he'll be long-term. But you cannot save your way to wealth. All a bank account is a way for you to be able to reserve money in order to execute on the transactions that you're going to do on a regular basis. Every single account is a banking account. What I would do is I would get a brokerage account, and then he can get it through you. So if you go to any of these large sites, I like to use Fidelity. I also got my daughter's in Fidelity. My daughter is 15 years old. She's been putting up about 15 to 20%. So I got separate accounts for my daughter. I got the ones that she can manage herself, and then I have ones that I manage for her. And I let her make her own investments, which she's done really, really well. I let her make her own investments with the money that she then invests into it. I do not allow for her to be able to pull it back out, so she can't take the money out to do what she wants with it. But I let her manage it, and then what that allows for her to do is allows for her to learn under my tutelage. And if she fails in a controlled environment, so that when she becomes an adult, she'll be more well-versed in understanding exactly how money works, especially when it comes to the type of bank accounts that she needs to open. So I would tell them to open up a brokerage account. I wouldn't tell them to go with a step account. So hopefully that helps you. Torrance Daniels says, yep, the IRS hired hundreds of people that focus solely on PPP fraud investigations over the next 10 years. Slow and steady. I almost applied. Don't do it. Don't do it. Trey D says, more PPP fraud arrests coming near to a city near you in 2024. Jeez. Unlimited Cam says, my brother left Broward Sheriff's Office due to corruption. He foresees others facing repercussions. The lead sheriff and his wife were caught at a swingers club. Also, the man in a suit is a Haitian. Wow, y'all giving me the game. I don't be knowing what be going on, and that's why I be tapping into my people. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Let's get it rocking. All right, so a couple more things that we didn't want to tackle. The first thing that we want to tackle is Tyrese. Tyrese. Shout out to Tyrese Gibson out here trying to figure it out. Tyrese is allegedly being sued by a director, and such director is holding him accountable for the things that he said on the Breakfast Club. So let me play the audio for you guys, because playing video with the Breakfast Club, I then have to battle them and go back and forth. I figured this out during the Tesla Figueroa thing, as far as being able to keep up the actual videos, and I would have to mute it and all of this other type of stuff. We just sourced the audio, so we're going to share the audio with you guys of what's going on, exactly what it is that he said on the Breakfast Club, and then I'm going to show you why he's getting sued by the director.
Matt, he wasted my time with that interview.
Okay.
What you apologize for?
I asked Charlemagne the God to come to Atlanta and do a full-on interview with myself and my ex, post the crying video, post what God
So y'all were
did.
together at this time?
We were still
Everything was good.
together.
Okay.
We both were on the couch
I wish
together.
people could see that,
and
actually.
did the whole interview.
Okay.
Brian Barber, who I hired, camera crew, helped me with the lighting, this and that. This nigga does the fucking interview, has taken the fucking footage and refused to give it back. I paid $35,000 total for this whole shit. Then I found out he did it to Big Boy, did it to Dallas Austin, did it to a couple niggas. So I don't care if he see this interview, because I'm too honest.
So that is what Tyrese said in an interview on the Breakfast Club. He said, listen, Charlemagne the God got mad at me, and it's because I did an interview with Charlemagne the God. I brought him out there, we did the interview, and I hired a director to come in and do the lighting, do the camera work, to shoot the interview for us. But it was never released, even though I paid this man for doing this, and he ran off with the footage as a result of it. So let me play it for you one more time. What is that? What is that? Maybe it's because I'm shooting this on my iPhone. What? Hold on. Can y'all see that? Yo, what is Apple got going on? So I live stream. A lot of people be asking me when I'm at home, what do I live stream on? Do I bring my cameras for the studio and all of that other type of stuff, right? I'm live streaming through the iPhone, right? Let me see this one more time. I don't get no reaction from that one. I guess they said that we can't give you. Let me try this one more time. That's pretty crazy. All right, anyways. So let me play this for you one more time, and then I'm going to share with you guys the article. A lot of people try to ask me, what is it that I'm streaming on? What camera do I use when I'm at home or when I'm streaming from home? I'm using an iPhone. Let me play this for you one more time.
Matt, he wasted my time with that interview.
Okay.
What you apologize for?
I asked Charlemagne the God to come to Atlanta and do a full-on interview with myself and my ex. Post the crying video. Post what God.
So y'all were
did.
together at this time?
We were still
Everything was good.
together.
Okay.
We both were on the couch
I wish
together.
people could see that,
And
actually.
did the whole interview.
Okay.
Brian Barber, who I hired, camera crew, helped me with the lighting, this and that. This nigga does the fucking interview, has taken the fucking footage and refused to give it back. I paid $35,000 total for this whole shit. Then I found out he did it to Big Boy, did it to Dallas Austin, did it to a couple niggas. So I don't care if he see this interview, because I'm too honest.
All right, so this is what the director is doing, right? So it says Tyrese is being sued for millions by a director over negative statements made about him on The Breakfast Club. The Fast and Furious star is being sued by Brian Barber for defamation and libel, and he wants a whopping $10 million from Tyrese. Come on, man, that's disrespectful, bro. That is disrespectful. He wants $10 million for a less than 1 minute statement that was said about him. All right, so let's go on. Say, according to the legal documents obtained by the Blast, Barber is claiming the actor made inaccurate and defamatory statements about him during a September 7th appearance on The Breakfast Club. Now, Tyrese didn't even have a good time at The Breakfast Club, and he was already getting threatened by DJ Envy, but neither here nor there. He claimed that the baby boy actor attacked his character and reputation during an episode, stating Barber took Gibson's interview footage and refused to give it back. Gibson paid Barber $35,000. Y'all paying $35,000 to film an episode? What kind of return on y'all money y'all think y'all gonna get for paying somebody $35,000? Is Charlemagne the God worth spending $35,000 on for an interview? Come on, fam. This is how I know a lot of these people don't really know content creation. They don't know the game. And then you got finessed out of your 35 because you hired this guy and the interview footage never came out. So Tyrese just took a $35,000 L. Yo, y'all spending $35,000 on interviews? What kind of return y'all expecting to get? Yo, the game is messed up. Get these big Hollywood actors off of the internet and off of the game because they don't really know what the game is and they over here fumbling the bag and they running up the prices on stuff that they not supposed to be spending money on. And if y'all don't understand how the game works, then just stay out of it. But these people really don't know how the game works. So he spent $35,000 to interview Charlemagne the God. And then the filmmaker was hired. Recall he hired a filmmaker to film an interview. Boy, if you don't get you some iPhone cameras and get that interview popping and some lapel mics in 2019 to conduct and edit a sit-down interview with him and Charlemagne the God, Gibson's ex-wife Samantha Lee will be sitting with the actor during the filming. Barber, the CEO and founder of Pivot Originals, a streaming platform, he says his company would private cameras, lights, and editing following the filming for Gibson. So he's supposed to do all of the editing, all of the interview, all of the lights and everything, and it's supposed to be dope. Gibson and Barker agreed that the interview would be filmed over a day, and both parties would split on a 50-50 basis the revenue derived from the streaming and other distribution. And I got to give you 50% of the profits? What kind of deal is this? This is a horrible deal. However, that wasn't the case as Gibson requested a second day of shooting under the guise that wanting a B-roll footage of Gibson spending time with his wife and his newborn daughter. So he said, we're going to make a family photo of this. As for Gibson's claim about Barber refusing to release the interview footage, the music video director claimed the actor's management specifically instructed him not to release any portion of the interview to protect the reputation of the Fast 9 star. So, on the flip side, he's saying that the management, Tyrese's management, said that he didn't want to release any of the footage that was required or that was recorded by Gibson. But here's my question. why you holding on to it? If I paid you for it, why you still got my footage? Let me say that again. If I paid you for it, why you still sitting on my footage? Let me do what I want to do with my footage. Gibson refused to adhere to the previous 50-50 revenue split that he and Barber previously negotiated for the Charlamagne the God interview. Tyrese proceeded to mention the situation on an appearance on the Breakfast Club, claiming Barker was holding the footage hostage. In the interview, Gibson claims he spent $35,000 on it and Barker wouldn't release it. Now Barker claims those statements are defamatory. And Gibson knew that the success of the Pivot Original hinges largely on establishing and maintaining trust with original content creators. Nevertheless, he made those remarks knowing they weren't true, and now he's demanding this man, I guess this is the man, right? Brian Barber. He's demanding $10 million, no less than $10 million, claiming the statements constituted slander per se to injuring his profession as a director, editor, and producer in his business. Wow. I can't imagine that he's going to get 10 M's from that. No way. I will fight that vigorously. And I will want my $35,000 back because it seemed like Tyrese handled business like a hood dude. Honestly. Seemed like Tyrese handled business like a hood dude. I don't understand why Tyrese ain't suing for the footage and to possibly get his money back. And why is he doing a 50-50 revenue split? I don't know, man. These people just be wasting money and not doing the right thing, and I don't understand it, so it don't make sense to me. But let me pivot for a minute because I want to share with you guys something different, right? On the flip side, DJ Envy has decided that he wanted to respond to a lot of the allegations that's being levied against him. So, before I actually play for you the allegations that's being levied against DJ Envy's response to it, because he actually responded to it on the Breakfast Club, let me share with you a video of a guy. This is a new guy, right? So a lot of people are familiar with the fact that DJ Envy was allegedly in business with a guy named Caesar. It's been all over the internet. I haven't really been covering it at all because I just don't really care until I actually get the facts. So until I get the facts, I don't really deal with rumors or allegations. But the fact that DJ Envy decided that he wanted to respond to it now warrants for me to actually share with you the interview, the context, so that we can start to draw some conclusions. Because if Envy never said nothing about it, then what is it for us to be able to talk about it, right? So I'm trying to maintain my journalistic integrity. But this is a guy called the Credit Dude that then apparently has went viral as a result of a lot of the things that he's saying about DJ Envy, which was completely unrelated to a bunch of other stuff that's being leveraged against DJ Envy. But let me play this, and then I'm going to go over, and I'm going to switch over, and I'm going to tell you what DJ Envy's response to all of these allegations are.
Yo, what's up, guys? So a lot of people are asking me what the fuck is going on with all this shit with me and Envy, right? So I was speaking to seminars since December of 2018, the real estate seminars that they had, right? I'm speaking.
After this segment, I'm opening it up for you guys to be able to jump on and disagree with me on anything that you want to disagree with me on. So I'm making time for you guys to be able to tap in. And you don't have to be on camera. If you want to jump up here and give me whatever grievance that you have, maybe I dogged your city out, I don't know, so on and so forth. You're more than welcome to be able to hold me accountable, and you do not have to be on camera if you don't want to.
You know, letting everybody know what's going on with the credit, you know, giving education and things like that, thinking like it's a legit platform, thinking that everything is cool, right? Boom. So one day, Caesar invites me to his office and says, hey, bro, how many clients do you have? I let him know how many clients I have. He's like, damn, so that many clients times X amount a month. He's like, damn, bro, your business is doing pretty good. I'm like, yeah, bro, we've been putting in work. You know, you guys, I've been speaking on stage. You know, we've been in business, you know, 10 years, 11 years, whatever the case is. Only charging people if we get items deleted. And then a week later, his assistant, Benz, approaches me and says, hey, Envy wants to be an owner of your business. And I'm like, well, what does that even mean? Like, and I'm like, oh shit, like DJ Envy wants to be a part of my business. DJ Envy wants to partner with me. I'm like, what does that look like? He's like, well, he doesn't want to pay anything, but he wants to come into your business as a 25% owner and pretty much continue helping you, you know, with your business. I'm like,
so first of all, my question to y'all is, because I've never actually worked with any kind of credit repair business. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they would do any differently that you can do for yourself. How does that work? Like, and again, I don't know. I don't own a credit repair business. I've never worked with anybody that's sent a credit repair. I don't know what it works. How does that work? How do they get things legally deleted off of your credit report? And then why is that supposed to help you? Because it actually doesn't help you become a better steward over your resources. It just allows you to buy more stuff that you're not supposed to be buying in the first place. How does that actually help you? Somebody just got to give me the game to help me to understand what the credit repair finesse is, or what the business is, and why people are going to credit repair services and what they're doing to you. If anybody's ever gone to one before, let me know in the chat how that works. But basically what he's saying is he ran a credit repair business. He would only charge people if they deleted an item. And DJ Envy, through understanding and learning who this guy is through Caesar, apparently became familiar with his business, said that he wanted to be a part of his business and take a 25% equity stake in it in order to continue to promote the business. All right, let's continue.
Okay, well, what does that look like? He's like, well, we're going to promote you here. We're going to do this, put you on the Breakfast Club, which, come to find out, that shit is payola on his end, because I was paying him to, not realizing it, to be on the radio, right? And he's like, oh, we're going to blow your business up. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to fucking take your business to the next level. Meanwhile, I'm already growing, you know, whatever the case is. As soon as we signed the contract, September 2020, this motherfucker acting like he can't fucking promote me, right? I'm like, bro, I thought it was a part of the deal for you to promote me, for you to do this. One post here or there, one post here or there, one post here or there, post here, post there. And I'm like, yo, bro, like, what's going on, man? Like, I thought you were supposed to, you know, let people know that.
Whenever you sign a deal, make sure you get clear terms of what expectations are as a result of whatever. It sounds like, to be honest with you, and I know we get into all of the, yeah, you the angry person or whatever, so on and so forth, but it sounds like, see, it's easy to pile on DJ Envy because I don't have an opinion on it one way or another until the facts start to come out, right? But it's easy to pile on DJ Envy and say, oh, see, this guy is on it too. It sounds like he was a bad businessman. Why would you sign a contract or allow for somebody to take 25% of your business that's not executing on clear terms that's outlined in the contract that you're forcing them to sign? Honestly, it sounds like this guy is a bad businessman and he was starstruck by the idea of having DJ Envy on his team, and it sounds like DJ Envy finessed him and got the best part of the business. And or maybe they just didn't have clear understanding of exactly what the terms are, and so he feeling salty about it, and so it's easy for him to come out and say something about Envy right now because everybody is feeling some type of way about it. One of the things that I'm trying to understand is, why are people just now saying something that had a problem with him for an extended period of time? Is it out of convenience, or is it just because it's just so happened to be the time that he felt like speaking on it? It sounds like the terms of the agreement, and he agreed to let Envy take 25% of his business without clear terms of exactly how it was that he was going to promote it. So I don't know. I don't understand. But let me continue to play it out. I'm going to play the whole thing.
Business with this, and he's like, I don't got to do that shit. I don't think you remember the agreement we had. I don't care about your company. And I'm like, yeah, bro, but you're promoting Caesar. You're promoting the weed business. You're doing this, you're doing that. And you know Caesar isn't, doing this because that's...
Man, listen, man. Y'all send me business ideas and stuff all the time, and y'all be like, hey, time promoting. Man, I'm not promoting your weed business. I'm not promoting none of that. I'm not promoting your weed business. I'm not promoting your... I ain't promoting nothing that I don't understand, because my name is going to be attached to it. And so if I can't fit... If you ain't sending me a clothing brand, if you ain't sending me a real business, real services business or whatever like that, like weed businesses, this sound like some straight up hood booger junk, bro, to be honest with you.
That's when I also found out so that's when Caesar scammed me. I invested with him May of 2022. August of 2022, I realized and found out that he got me for the 150. So then I'm like, well, how come you're promoting Caesar?
Gave a dude $150,000 on some real estate deals. Oh man, this is crazy, bro.
More than me. And you know he got me, and you still not promoting me. And that's when me and him got in a fucking argument. That's when he made that fucking audio clip that he made EYL, that he made Matt, that he made fucking me. Man, fuck that bitch, yo. You ain't make shit. Motherfucker gonna sit here and say he made EYL. He gonna sit here and take credit for EYL. He gonna sit here and say that he made Matt the mortgage guy. He gonna sit here and say he got credit and made the credit due. Motherfucker, you can't even make your wife come. And you're gonna fucking sit here and tell me that you made the...
This is all emotion, man. Honestly, bro. This is all emotion. And this is why I say this. I've been saying this since the beginning of time. Character is just as important as the business itself. And people always say, Anton, wouldn't you partner with this person? What if they could get you a bigger bag? How you get it is just as important as whether you get it. It's actually more important than whether or not you get it. Because I'm not doing business with anybody that I don't truly understand, and I can't actually put my reputation and stake my reputation that I've been building for an extended period of time on the line for. And this is why I do business by my lonely. You don't see me getting into no real estate business with nobody. You don't see me getting into no this business or that business. And anybody that didn't do business with me, then you come in as a person that works for me for that particular service. I take care of you. I give you a percentage of whatever it is that you generate. And then I actually make sure I take care of you on the back end even more. If you come in and you do an interview and we got clear terms, we outline a contract, I'm going to make sure I'm taking care of A, B, C, D, and E, F, G. You don't see me falling out with nobody. You don't see me falling out with nobody that come in and get interviewed or nothing like that. And I do business by my lonely. I don't even do business with banks like that. I put up my own money, my own bread, and that way I ain't got to worry about nobody coming back saying that Anton owed him anything.
The credit dude, man, fuck you, all right? This dude gonna block my calls, gonna sue me because I exposed him with the fucking thing. That's the shit I'm on right now, MD. Fuck you. You're gonna sit here and sue me, and you're gonna sit here and hide behind the phone. What's up, bro? You wanna go to court? You wanna fucking sue me? I can't wait for the day that people fucking realize the piece of shit that you fucking are, bro. Cause
I'm so disturbed by this because it's like, yo, if y'all businessmen like that, and if your business is that, why are y'all handling it online? Why are y'all throwing all of y'all business as far as what you doing offline, online, in order to have a spat of words for a popularity contest, and instead of dealing with it from a business perspective? I don't honestly, I'm genuinely confused about what the hell is going on.
the minute we made that agreement, you made me hire your fucking assistant. You made me hire your fucking assistant, and I was fucking paying her mad bread. She wouldn't have bought that fucking house if it wasn't for me. Cause your ass didn't even fucking have her on payroll, cause your bitch ass didn't even got a real fucking company. You feel?
Sound like he's so. I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, I know there's a lot of allegations against DJ Envy, and it's easy to be able to pile on. But bro, how you let another grown man bully you into hiring his assistant and you helped her buy a house? How you let another grown man bully? How you gonna, yo, you looking real weak, dog, to be honest with you. You looking real weak to say you let another man bully you into hiring another girl that you didn't even know, and you paying her, and you gave up 25% of your company with no return on investment and not being able to read the contract correctly. Sound like you the one that got bullied, big. Honestly, you online and you mad and all of that, and they going live and stuff, but yo, if I came home and I told my girl about some of the stuff that, yo, I had to hire this girl because DJ Envy made me do it, yo, I don't even know if I would feel comfortable enough saying that junk online, but let me continue.
Feel me? You feel me? With your fake ass fucking DJ auto, your fake ass car show, whatever the fuck you doing with that whack ass car show, right? So then as soon as I fire her for not doing shit, you get fucking mad, and you clearly even fucking told me you were upset, right? So since everybody wants to hide and nobody wants to fucking talk about what the fuck is really going on, I fucking made you an owner. Listen, you said you made the credit due. Motherfucker, don't forget, I made you a fucking owner in my business, right? And you want to sit here and tell people, oh, credit due crazy. Credit due got this. Credit due got that. I'm owning this business. Motherfucker, you telling people behind closed doors you a part of my business, motherfucker? You wish you can be got credit, motherfucker. You wish you can be got credit. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. Got credit was here before you, motherfucker. You ain't make me. You ain't make me. You know what I mean? And I hope somebody shows you this fucking video, bitch. Gonna sit here and tell me you fucking made got credit and I wouldn't be where I'm at, motherfucker. Worry about your own shit. Worry about your own family. You sit here telling Tyrese, knowing he got mental problems and mental, mental going on.
All right, he going into a bunch of junk that's not even relevant to what's going on out here in the streets. Let me play the audio of DJ Envy responding to a lot of the different allegations that's being levied against him.
There's been a lot going on, Charlamagne.
Like what?
Don't say like what, man. There's been a million and one accusations.
Oh my God, no.
I'm being serious. So let me explain some things. I'm not, my attorneys don't want me to speak, but I think there's things that I need to clear up a little bit.
I think you should listen to your attorneys. Why don't light-skinned people like to listen? Like, if your attorney told you don't say nothing, why you talking?
Listen, so Caesar and myself did seminars. Now, the reason I did these seminars is because I wanted to uplift my community. I wanted to teach my community about real estate, things that I didn't know when I was first buying my first home. I wanted to teach our community about investing in generational wealth. So I did these seminars and brought industry professionals to all these seminars, whether it was real estate agents from different markets, contractors, conventional lenders, hard money lenders. I even brought auction.com to actually show people how to purchase houses online. That's what I wanted to do for my people. Now, Caesar, if he took money, I wasn't privy to it, nor did I even know. But I do understand how people feel if they did give him money, because I gave him a lot of money.
Jesus.
That I didn't see a dollar of return. But for anybody to say I was involved, that's totally not true. I would never. I've been on this radio close to 30 years, and never in my 30 years time did I do nothing but try to uplift people and show people a different way through the business mind. And I would never take a dollar from somebody.
I could be wrong, but I didn't see nobody accusing you of taking money. I just saw them say that they met Caesar because they heard you talking about Caesar.
Nah, they basically said I was privy to it, and that wasn't true. Not at all.
I from what I read in actual court papers, I didn't see that. They said that all these people are saying that they met Caesar because of you.
Right, and they're saying
I don't
that
see nobody accusing you of taking no money.
To the point where if you read the court documents, Caesar wrote an affidavit that says DJ Envy, Rashawn Casey, had no knowledge of me investing people's money.
This is so dumb.
He wasn't there. He wasn't part of those conversations. He wasn't even nowhere in.
Can't believe they actually.
And those are documents that's out there. So if we're gonna talk about truth, let's talk about the truth. And those are the documents out there. And
well,
I know
you can't talk about the truth yet because your lawyers don't want you talking at all. So the smart thing to do is, I understand you want to say something to the listeners, and I'm sure the listeners appreciate it. But man, just wait until all the dust settles. And when all the dust settles, then we can get on this radio and have a real conversation. Until then, I don't think you should be saying any of this. But that's just me. Look at it. You can't even help yourself. What else you want to say now?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right.
But
when the dust settles,
okay,
you can have a real conversation with the audience.
But it's difficult because the stuff that you're hearing is like, that's totally not true. Like, it's not true. Like,
well, that's
fake news. Like, those are fake stories.
That should be enough. You know what the truth is. If you know what the truth is, don't worry about it, because the truth don't need no defense. The truth don't need no defense, just witnesses. That's it.
All right. Well, hopefully.
And by the way, you look very suspicious because you don't have your Just for Men in right now. So it's like the grades are coming in right here in the back, and you need a little haircut, so it just makes you look like, oh.
I just want to say this on closing.
Lying.
I've never stole anything from anybody, and I'll just leave it at that.
This dude can't shut up. I just dropped the link in the chat for anybody that disagrees with me on anything. If you want to hold me accountable, if you disagree with anything that I said on the show, if you disagree with anything that I've said prior to this, you're more than welcome. You do not have to get on camera. I will ask you if you want to be on camera before bringing you up. But this is so dumb. If your attorneys advise you not to say anything, then why would you say my attorneys advise me not to say anything, but I'm going to say it anyway, and then proceed to talk about something that your attorney told you not to comment on? Just be quiet. Let that junk shake out. See what let the court handle it. If you about your business and you on top of it, don't. I see so many people that is just, don't ever do a crime with any of these people out here in these streets today, because it's different. I ain't never seen men talk so much about stuff that's going on that could possibly affect them and hurt them and put their bag in jeopardy than ever before in my entire life. We are in a weird time. We are in a crazy time to where people feel comfortable. And I dropped the link in the chat again for anybody that want to come up here and say whatever it is that they want to say with me. It is pinned to the top of the chat. People are feeling incredibly comfortable just saying and being online and over talking and oversharing. What the heck is happening out here in these streets? I don't understand it. Why would he be over talking? Why would he be oversharing? Why would the other guy that I just played, the credit dude, or I don't know what his name is or whatever. I've never heard of him or anything. I've never been to a DJ Envy seminar or anything like that. Why would these people be online over talking and saying things that's not going to be good for the brand? I do not get it. I do not understand it. It makes no sense for me whatsoever. And I think that DJ Envy just needs to shut up. Just be quiet. Do whatever you're going to do. Handle it behind the scenes. Let your attorney. That's why you pay him all this egregious amount of money in order to handle it. Handle it behind the scenes and let it play out however it's going to play out. And here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest lesson. And I see don't nobody got no disagreement. Everybody was talking all of that stuff all week, and ain't nobody got no disagreement with me as usual. This is normal. This is absolutely normal. Here's the biggest lesson. Be very careful. I was going to say be very careful who you do business with. Do good business. That's number one. Do good business. Number two, whenever you do business with somebody else, make sure you got all of your T's crossed and your I's dotted. And then last but not least, I'm not really sure what the justification is for most people to then go into business with most other people with stuff offline. If you partnering with somebody on some content or something, I can understand that. If you getting into it, partnering with somebody on some real estate, I don't understand that. I've never understood it. I don't know how you partner with somebody on real estate and then you have no equity in the business. You have no say so. It's not no clear defined roles. It's not documented. You're not an officer in a company. You're not the president or anything like that. And nobody just knows anything. Everybody is just confused. But, man, I'm not doing that, bro. And if anybody ever promises you 30 to 50% of returns on a deal that they got pending, walk the fuck away. If anybody promises you 30 to 50% returns within 6 months, and I don't know who doing it, but I heard that somebody was promising people 30 to 50% returns on their money, walk the hell away. I don't even, people be asking me for tips on what to invest in and stuff. I even preface it by saying, listen, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just going to share with you my experience, and then you can take it from there. Be very careful, man. Just be very, very careful of what it is that you guys decide to get into. I don't see nobody disagreeing with me today. What's going on? What? I know y'all had a lot of stuff that y'all wanted to talk about. Come on, y'all. Let me read a couple of super chats and then we're going to get it popping. I see somebody in the background. My dog. People love good quality is in the building. Says Anton, hope all is well. I'm doing a huge 25% off orders with code TAKE25. Also, hopefully the next meetup is in California. Proud member of the Bag Chasers. Shout out to you, big dog. Make sure that y'all lock in. Lock in with people love good quality apparel. Jump in. Let's get to it. Also, Exotic Papa is in the building. Says, Ayo, time. You heard about that shooting in DeKalb County yesterday? I haven't. Send it to me in my email. Send it to me in my email. Thank you, my friend, for holding me down. I appreciate you. Jay, you want to be on camera or no? Okay, cool. This Apple camera is really weirding me out. I don't know what to think about it. Let me get my dog Jay Woodfin up in the building. Jay Woodfin is going. I know Jay Woodfin is going to kick my ass right now, so I'm gonna be careful. Let me be very, very careful about what it is that I say before I say it. Jay Woodfin, what up, though?
Excuse my shit for being all lopsided, bro.
No, that's cool, bro.
Hang on. Because on my computer, it wouldn't let me join the call.
David Baker, I see you. Oh, David Baker logged off. What up, Jay?
All right, bro. Hey, man. Hey.
Jay, don't kick my butt too bad today.
Listen, bro. You the king of education, man. Right? I got on you
I'm taking my watch off. I'm putting my Apple Watch on this time.
Do your thing, bro. I got on you a couple months ago because I feel like sometimes you be on here wasting your time, preaching stuff to people, bro, that they just are not ready to absorb. But when it comes to the credit game, that's where you draw the line.
Okay.
This is where you go, I'm not going to teach this because you're not ready for it. Well, let me ask you a question. And this is the route that I've taken when it comes to credit repair, credit education, blah, blah, blah. Because I have a decent sized platform across social media. I can big dog people.
A lot of people don't know that you did radio. I see the people talking about your voice. They like your voice. They don't know that you do radio and all of that stuff.
That's what's up. I can big dog people and keep them beneath me, or I can bring them up to where I'm at in the form of responsibility and education. I can give them my time. I can give them my knowledge and let them do what they will. Now, you will educate people on using brokerage accounts. You are putting out real estate information. You are always giving away the dopest game, by the way, bro. So keep doing your thing. But this is where you draw the line. My question to you is why? Why do you draw the line here? Yeah.
Because I don't leverage credit.
That's not it.
Because yes, it is.
You don't leverage credit, you don't know about it, and it doesn't mean that other people don't need it. So you're doing the Dave Ramsey thing.
No, because I believe that whenever I try to figure something out of whether or not I should give people information, a lot of times I have to be very, very careful with how I do it, because if you go out and you kill yourself or you suffer as a result of it, I believe that I would be responsible for that, right? And so I have to manage people along with, like, even when I do coaching sessions, I manage their character. I force them to have to face a lot of other things other than just telling them how to get to the bag, because it has to be all encompassing. It's going to be either you get it all or you get none of it. And so a lot of times when people use credit, they're being communicated to wrong. And so they would take some of the information that I would give them, and then they would leverage that to put themselves in a bad situation, because there's so much misinformation out here about how to use credit effectively. And so I can't just give them the game. I got to bring them along. I got to understand the people's needs on it.
You can't bring them along if you're not using it right either. See, you.
So how am I using it wrong? Tell me how I'm using it wrong.
Because you don't use credit. So, for instance, right, you got the Chase Sapphire card, right, or Sapphire.
Well, technically, I do use credit, but I don't use it in a way that most people use it. Yeah, you're right.
Right, man. I mean, here's my thing. You don't use it like that because you don't need to use it like that. But you will discuss the necessary features of using it properly, i.e., you say, don't use credit, but then you tell people you need good payment history, you need good credit age, you need to have a good mix of credit accounts. You give them all the stuff, but then you don't make the connection for them, bro.
So what is the connection that they need to make? You can make the connection for them.
No, I can't, because I don't get on your platform like that.
You here right now.
So you and I will have these conversations, right?
Yeah, we have them offline, but we don't have them online.
But the people who need it, I don't need it. I already got.
I know you don't need it.
Cards, I got all my Chase cards. I got everything I want, right? And I know how to use it effectively. Let me run something by you. Have you ever had financial trouble or credit trouble? Ever?
Credit trouble or financial trouble? It's two different things.
Yeah, you ever owed anybody money? Have you ever owed any? I have. 10 years ago, I had a 420 credit score.
Yeah, I lost everything. In 2008, I lost everything. Right? Yeah, I got my cars repossessed and all of that.
How did you get back on your square?
What do you mean?
Did anybody look at you and go, oh, no, he already messed up the game, bro. I'm going to leave him where he at. He ain't ready. Or did you go seek out the necessary help in order to pull yourself along, bro? And now you've gotten...
No. So let me tell you how I did it. Well, one of the things that I understood also was that being married gave me more power, because I was willing to walk away. As far as like in 2008, when everything had went bad, I was willing to walk away from everything because I was then able to leverage my wife's name in order to do it more effectively while I was still building myself up, right? But then at the same time, it wasn't really that big of a deal because I didn't have to do anything, because I then divested myself from the idea of using credit altogether. So then I said that I was going to build it from scratch without needing credit in order to continue to build wealth, which then allowed for me to take advantage of a lot of other opportunities because I didn't have to pay the interest that everybody else paid. And what it forced me to do was re-educate myself about what success looks like, right? So I'll give you an example. A lot of people, they'll go out and they'll purchase a house, and then there's a lot of misinformation out here about how, okay, purchase the house, and then you continue to gain the equity. You pull the equity out of it in order to go and purchase the new house. You continue to let somebody else pay for it, so on and so forth. But part of that problem is that most people don't understand exactly what the true cost of home ownership is. And so when there's any tumultuous time within the market, right, or the bank then calls in that loan, a lot of these people go completely broke because they don't understand the fact that the rules apply differently depending on what the circumstances is inside of the economy. And also when the interest rates are starting to go up, you're going to be in trouble, right? A lot of people not educating people as, okay, well, you can get all of these different properties, but then at the same time, if you start to have some vacancies or location, you did it the wrong way, or you're trying to flip in the wrong area, or you starting to have problems with a tenant and you have to carry that cost out of your own pocket, they start to find themselves in a difficult situation. We also seen that happen during the pandemic, right? Because the rent moratorium kicked in. A lot of the landlords started suffering. I knew some people that actually lost their properties, and then they had deals with other people and everything started falling apart. So when people have these conversations, they don't have them in a vacuum. They have them. They have them based off of what the popular subject is to be. Similar that they had in the trucking industry. They said all of the pros of what sounded good. They said none of the cons. They telling these people that they're making a lot of money in real estate when in reality they just over cash flowing and they don't even have enough money for the repairs if a tenant called and said that something broke down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
but that's due to over leveraging in every way, right? So
but most people getting into real estate is over leveraged.
Right, over leverage, right? And I'm gonna give you that argument. But let's talk about the basic people, bro. Basic people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about those of us who have made it to a certain level. We've gotten out of the muck and the mire. Now we up here. We living a decent life or a good life or whatever the case is. We make enough money to live that cash life and live good.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the people who are trying to make that climb? Where are they going to get their information from? Here's the decision I made, right? I can either let the scammers and the schemers take over the world, or I can do my very level best to put out a product that can be service first and everything else after that. Put out information that's going to be truth and logic and let everything else after that come and see if I can combat the system a little bit. See, people who follow me understand one thing. I'm not, and we're going to have a credit repair conversation too in a second. I'm not guaranteeing you shit. However, what I will do is I'll give you the information that I have and try to teach you how to use it effectively and try to teach you how to use it in a way that's going to be pragmatic, right? So if you can use credit in a pragmatic way, like you said, bro, you can get free money. Why would
you
I
can.
not do
But
my
see, they
very
don't.
level best to teach
But they're
people
not even
how to
educated
budget?
enough to understand what you mean by when you say free money.
Because everything comes. Let me go from the basic beginning, right? First of all, you teach them the basic principles of money, and that's what you do. You teach them the basic principles of money. You let them know that they need discipline, right?
No man left behind.
And no man left behind, man. You have to, if that's the way you're gonna live, and that's what you said, right? When I told you was wasting your time on telling men how to be men and trying to tell these modern women out here how to be softer women, how to be more feminine, they're as not ready for that as they are not ready for the finance game. But you put that information out there. You do give them the opportunity to absorb that from you and do with it whatever the hell you're gonna do with it. This has to be the same way, bro. Because guess what? If you don't put it out there and I don't put it out there, it's still being used. We still out here.
Not necessarily though.
Thousands of dollars for free.
Not necessarily though, and the reason why that's not necessarily true though, this is okay. So let's say I start to have certain conversations and I put it out there, like just on a public platform like this, right? A lot of times, what you do is you put the seeds out there that then force them to start doing a little bit more research, and then what happens is people will say, well, you know what? I need to tap in with you offline, or I need to tap in and start getting more information, and then you can start having those deeper conversations. But you gotta take into consideration that it be new people every day that come in and tune in. Is people
That's what the video library is.
But they don't all go off of that. They go off of the most recent thing that you talk about. And so, you know, when I'm considering the audience, I'm considering the people that are the newest to the information, along with the people that may have, you know, a little bit more information, or they may be a lot farther along in their journey. But I can't forget about the dude that's at the beginning, because if he find himself in a pitfall trying to eat meat when he should be eating baby food, that then falls on my shoulders as a person that is giving information. I don't
They're
feel
going
comfortable
to
doing
go
that.
get the information anyway.
They not.
They are.
They not.
You're wrong on this one, bro.
They
And I'm
not.
telling you, you're wrong. Several thousand followers strong, you wrong. I'm telling you. I've dealt with the ones that, hey, bro, I heard this, heard that. Hey, Pimpin', back up. Back up.
But
You ain't
but
gonna
they
get it.
but
You ain't
I
ready for no
can't
business
have that
credit.
on
You ain't
my.
ready for no
I don't want that
federal
on my
place.
rap sheet though. If they're gonna go and get the information, then they then take responsibility for the state that they in. Most of the people that roll with me, they roll with me because they understand that I'm never gonna tell them something that's gonna hurt themselves. And so when people stick with me, and that's why I'm cool with slow growth. I'm not. It's easy to give people the game and tell them the thing that I know what they want to hear, and it be chock full of information. They come back to it, they subscribe, they blow up the platform even more than it already is, and then you know what I'm saying. I become more successful as a result of it. The
This is
problem with that
hypocritical.
for me, though,
This is
the problem with that for me though is that I'd rather have the slow growth and people rock with me based off of my character, so that they know that I'm bringing them along the right way, and then they tie it in with me instead of being tied into just the information that I'm giving them. And the reason that that's important is because when people know that you're doing things the right way, or when people know that you're giving them the right type of information when they're ready for it, they'll take the harsh criticism. They'll take the issues. They'll take the problems. They'll take whatever it is that you're dealing with, and they'll even be willing to go along slower in order to get to the successful spaces versus you telling them what they want to hear, and then they go out and they kill themselves some people kill themselves as a result of it. Now, if you leave and you go and get the information and you go listen to somebody that's not best for you, I guarantee you're going to come back to me, and then you're going to get it the right way. But more
You just
importantly,
made my
I
point.
can't just give information, because information without wisdom is dangerous.
So you just gonna let me
Knowledge,
know that.
knowledge without wisdom is dangerous. It is one of the most dangerous things that you can do for a person.
So then let's case in point. Okay, so you just kind of made my point. You'll post videos of your real estate developments, getting the
Mhm.
holes dug so you can get your footings, bro. I build houses. I know exactly what
Yep.
what parts you're in the process. You'll do all of this, and then you'll say, "But I don't go out and get any loans. I do everything cash."
Uh-huh.
So you just eliminated 99.999% of the audience that actually watches you from being able to participate and even follow the
That's
game you're
not
trying to
true.
grow. Because they
That's
don't
not
have an
true.
avenue or entree into that. It would take people 10 years of doing nothing but saving just to get to the point where they can even look at a spot like you
That's
are in
not
right
true.
now.
That's not true
It's
because
100%.
it's all encompassing. See, the thing about it is that I don't just talk about real estate, right? I also give you the game on how it is that you need to level up from a professional perspective. I also give you the game on how it is that you need to minimize your lifestyle. I also give you the game on how it is that you need to level up when it comes to looking at things from a business perspective, your marriage,
But
your
you're
money.
doing it all at once, though, Anton. You're still doing it
Right.
all at once.
But
So
here's the
there is
key.
no actual blueprint to follow. They just have to be able to go back and look at some of the stuff that you dropped from a year ago, a year and a half ago. I do the same thing. I'm gonna give you all of the game, but it's up
Mhm.
to you to go back in the library and check out step one.
But
If you're
no, but
doing
no, but
step
see,
12, you
but
got to know
building
that there's a
real
step one.
estate, you got to remember, me building houses is a new thing. That's a brand new thing. I've never built a house except for me just starting this year.
But
Now I'm
you put
building structures.
$200,000 cash into a build. This is
But
where you're
but
leaving
but
your
here's the
first
thing.
behind.
In order for you to get into the game, the barrier to entry is a lot easier, because I'd rather you go into the right spaces, spend $30,000 as far as to buy land, than to spend $50,000 to $100,000 putting 20% down on a $500,000 property, or putting 3.5% down and then paying PMI, right? So what I'm doing is I'm experiencing it and then sharing the information on all fronts, not only just what it is that I've already done, but as I continue to mine out and as I continue to understand the game, I'm able to go through the pitfalls, give you the information on how it is that you're able to do it more effectively than I did it, because I made the mistake so that you don't have to. But then you just have all of the information in order to make an informed decision, in addition to the lessons that come along with budgeting, in addition to the lessons that come along with what careers you need to go into in order to get a bigger shovel, in addition to the lessons that come along with how you need to manage your money more effectively. So it's all encompassing, And I would never tell nobody to do anything that I didn't master myself first, which is one of the reasons why I document the process. Documenting the process is not just giving the game. Documenting the process is giving you the proof. You know what I'm saying? So
this part I understand and I agree with you on. But what I don't understand is why you will only offer one way to skin the cat. And now maybe this is just because it's your own personal experience and you refuse to put out something that you don't actually do or practice, which
I would never put out something that I have not done. I can't advise you on it.
Like I can respect this, but the other day
like,
you said you had an $8,000 L, right? You misplaced something.
Yeah, I did. I took an L. That was yesterday.
Bro, do you know what that does to most people in a real estate development?
Mm-hmm.
So either what you're telling people is, hey, haha, I'm doing this and you never will, and I'm gonna take over the world, or you truly do believe on some level that because you are giving people the game on security, what is it? Oh, I forgot what it is. Security. What is it?
For which what? Which one?
What you do for a living?
Oh, user experience, information
Yeah, so
technology.
you give people cybersecurity, right? You give people the game on cybersecurity. You give people the game on how to, well, not really how to invest, but some of the proper plays to make if you're going to try to level up your finance game. You give people the plays on how to interview properly. You give people the game on everything, bro.
But it's all based off of what my real life experience is first.
But there's a huge chasm from that to then I'm building a house for $250K. Like,
yeah, but you need to get the steps all in between.
What is the step in between?
I document that. I talk in with that.
Okay, so if you don't have the cash right now, here's how you responsibly go get the cash. Here's how you responsibly operate with that cash.
And I don't think that you should leverage credit to do that.
How you don't over leverage yourself with that cash. Here's
I don't
how
think
you do it
I don't
the
think
right
that
way.
the average consumer should leverage credit to do that. I do not think so.
But you think the average consumer can build a house for 150, 250?
I think that an average consumer can work themselves into the position to be able to build the house if they leverage the steps that's happening before that. See, listen, you gotta remember. You gotta remember, Jay. You gotta remember though, Jay. You gotta remember though, Jay. I'm 41 years old. This is the first house that I'm building from scratch. At 41. I didn't tell people at 23 that they should be doing this. I didn't tell people at 25. I tell them that they can do it a lot faster than I did it. But they can do it. But you got to also understand the journey that came along, me getting to the point to where I've gotten to in order to be able to do so. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that I tell everybody, and everybody in this chat know, and everybody that's in my Patreons know. My advice to people is stay down for 10 years. That's what I tell people. Stay down. Listen, give me 10 years. It may seem like a long time, but people do 10-year bids. You give me 10 years, you'll be able to do whatever you want to do for the rest of your life. And you can do it faster than I was able to do it because I made a lot of mistakes along the way. So at 41, now I'm in a position to be able to build houses cash with no bank financing, no partners, no nothing. But then at the same time, I'm not telling people that they can do it in 2 years or 1 year or 3 months or whatever like that. I'm not telling them the same thing that DJ Envy and them is telling them. I'm telling them there's steps along the way that get you to that 10-year process, and you can do whatever you want to do for the rest of your life. But it's going to take discipline. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take some sleepless nights. It's going to take some sacrifice. It's going to take some not partying with friends. And so all of that has to be all encompassing. But I didn't do that junk overnight, and I'm still making mistakes, which is one of the reasons why it cost me $8,000. And then I'm documenting that along the way to show you, hey, listen, this is the mistake I made. This is how I'm going to be more efficient as a result of it. I know I'm going to make some mistakes. I know I'm going to overspend some money, but you can do it a little bit differently going that way. I'm not telling people that I'm not going to give them the shortcut, Jay. I'm never going to give them the shortcut. Ain't no shortcuts to success.
My thing is teaching people how to operate credit properly is not a shortcut. It's just not.
I think so.
It's just not. It's not a shortcut. The shortcut is when you tell somebody, "Hey, bro, you can go over to Navy Federal and get a $20,000 card. And you can go to over to PenFed to get another 20. You could credit stack, right? And then what you do with that play, you go buy your house on all those cards, and then you flip it. And that's the
Now these people. Come on, man. Come on, Jay.
That's the bullshit I'm talking about.
No, Jay. I would never, but
what are you
see,
talking about?
and listen, I think that that's your lane. I would never tell anybody to do that. You know why?
That's not my lane, bro. That's the lane that's out here. My lane is make sure you have your finances together, right? My
Mm-hmm.
lane is your lane all the way up until we get to the point of actually utilizing credit. I agree with everything you say. But once you learn how to control your finances, once your bank account has enough money in it, and you're able to operate without being under financial duress, there is
Mm-hmm.
another level to this game. There is a
Like,
level that tells you, there is a level that tells you if you are traveling, you better have you, hold on, this is my brand new wallet. If you're traveling, you better have you one of these. You
mm-hmm.
feel me?
I
If you're
got
going
one.
out to
It's
restaurants,
in there.
you better have one of these so that when you use one of these, you're
But
getting all your
let me tell you
benefits.
the difference.
There's
But
a
see, the
level
one
to it
thing, the
of
one thing that they,
responsibility, bro.
the one thing that they don't tell you though, you showed the cars, right? You showed the Gold American Express. You showed the Plaid one. I got them too, right? And I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve. But
Absolutely.
here's the difference. Here's the play though. The one thing they don't tell you is that first of all, for most of these cars, you're paying a $500 yearly fee, right?
Absolutely. I
The
felt it.
second thing is interest rates. So they going out to dinner and they using these
Interest rates
cars.
shouldn't even be a thing if you're operating
But it
like a traditional
is
restaurant.
because it's the way that they market it to the people in order to get them to use the cars in the first place. See, you can do that though, Jay, because you have the resources. You have the
Your
resources to
mistake,
be able to pay it
your
off.
mistake is believing that credit
Hold
is a
on,
rich
Jay.
man's game,
Hold
and
on,
it's
Jay.
not.
You got the resources to be able to justify getting that card in the first place and being able to spend the money to actually be able to accumulate the amount of points that it's actually going to make it worth your while to even have the card, right? Because you need to be at a threshold even to be able to justify spending that money and having that card in the first place. And you have the life experiences to give you that responsibility to be able to justify having that card and being responsible enough to not even care about the interest rate because you know you ain't never paying no interest on it. When this little one over here is getting a Navy Federal, right, and they credit hacking and they went to the credit repair guy, right, and they never learned how to be responsible with their finances, but what they did was they learned how to get more credit so they can buy more shit and then continue to fuck their life up. They gonna be paying 29% interest. They gonna be paying 23% interest because it wasn't marketed for us. We the ones that's hacking. It's marketed so that we can talk about it and then they can go and get it, knowing that they're gonna be fucking their life up. And then they're gonna be in debt. Then they're gonna have to file for bankruptcy possibly, or they're gonna have to finesse the game or finesse the system. I don't want them to go through that, Jay.
And
They
you
should be
knowing this,
able.
and
They
you
should be
knowing
able to.
this,
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
you
If,
knowing this, you feel just
let
fine
me ask you a
now.
question. Let me ask you a question. If 10 people get the information and 8 of them leverage it and do it the right way, but 2 of them fall behind on the 8 ball and then they got to spend the next 5 years of their life preparing themselves to get back up to the starting line, was it worth the information?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not here for the many. I'm here for the one.
No, no, no,
If I can, if I can,
no.
if I can help somebody who's ready for the game, I cannot stop people. Let's just back it up. Do you use a weapon? You say
Mm,
you stay ready, right?
mm.
You stay ready, right?
I'm
I stay
always
ready
ready.
too. All right, for sure. What about Rita? Does she stay ready?
Yeah, she right here.
Okay. Who taught her?
I did, but she didn't move. She never moved. But see, here's the key.
Hold on,
I,
wait. Don't
okay,
hold on.
go ahead.
Let
I'm
me
gonna just answer the
let me
questions.
back
I
it up.
taught her.
Are you
I
going
taught her.
are you going to teach your daughter how to handle a weapon responsibly?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, now weapons are incredibly dangerous tools,
Mm-hmm.
just like fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, if used responsibly, they can save your life. But you can't tell the mentality of a person who you're teaching how to use a weapon.
I
You
can.
just have to hope that if you teach them the safety skills, that if you teach them to respect that
Nope.
weapon, you teach them to operate it responsibly, that they won't go out and do a mass deletion.
Nope.
You get what I'm
And
telling
I
you?
would never put it.
It
I
ain't
would
no
never
different
even
than
teach
teaching
them.
somebody how to use fire or a weapon or anything of that nature, bro. You have to give people the tools
You
in order to
you
make the decisions they
you
need to
left
make.
one part out, Jay. I'm not even teaching them or even entertaining the possibility of them having a weapon until they're ready for it.
Right. But there are many people out there, Anton, that have to use a weapon that nobody, or that have to learn how to use weapons of any kind
No, 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 no.
that
You
nobody
missed it.
really
You
knows
missed
that
it.
mentality.
Until
If
I
you take away
believe.
the people's ability to get educated just because some might not get it right, then
Mm,
you take away their power altogether.
nope,
That's
that's
what
not
I'm
true.
doing.
It takes 41 years to be 41 years old. It takes 16 years in order for you to even be able to get a license. It takes 21 years for you to even be able to get to the point. Excuse me. You give me
It
some.
takes 18 years for you to be able to find and financially apply for credit.
But you're missing it. It's my responsibility as their leaders and as the person that's covering them to put them in a position to be successful, not just give them the information. And so I determine, based off of my own experience, when they're ready to be able to get a weapon.
But when you have
until then,
your side, and you're making that determination for all of them, Anton,
because these are my babies. They my babies. And listen, my goal is not just to grow the platform. My goal is to be a beacon of light for people that separate themselves from what's normal in society. I'm not here for. I'm not here. Hold on. I'm not here for I'm not here for 9 billion people on the earth. I'm here for my babies. And so if one of them fall behind, then we got to stop the show and we got to pull them up. Right now, it's the same thing in my household. It's the same thing for the people that work for me, and it's the same thing for myself. I cannot, in any way, shape, or form, feel comfortable enough to see somebody go out there with the information that I give them and kill themselves as a result of it. It's my responsibility to shepherd over my people to make sure that they are never, ever under duress, under no circumstance, because I would rather you be normal than the possibility of you being abnormal and killing yourself as a result of it. And it's the same way with my wife, it's the same way with my daughter, and it's the same way with my employees. I will never put a gun in their hand. I will never put a gun in my daughter's hand. I will never give her the keys to the car until I believe that she's ready responsibly, mentally, emotionally, that she understands that her brain is even capable of processing the importance of what it takes in order to defend yourself and what it does to a person. I can't do it.
I respect your position on that, bro. And I'm gonna leave it at that because that's your position on that. But I do believe that you do have many followers who are ready to operate it properly, and they're not getting all of the game from you.
They're gonna have to wait. And if they really care that much, then they would help their brother. That's why we got the Discord. Help your brother and sister get to where you are so that we all can go together, because we not moving unless everybody is in unison. We not moving unless everybody is on the same page. And so as long as it's one person that's lagging behind, then that's the person that's going to slow up the whole bunch, because we are no man left behind movement. Like, I'm not doing it. If I stayed at 200,000 subscribers on this platform for the rest of my life, I'm cool with it, because the one thing that I'm always going to do is be responsible for the way that I affect other people. And I can't let one person kill themselves in order to push the rest of the 99.
I got you. Now, I know, because I know you got other people that's trying to come up. I know you had some questions on credit repair, and I saw a lot of in the chat that I was like, ooh, no. So let me answer your questions for you, bro, and maybe I can answer some other people's questions while I'm answering yours at the same time.
Okay.
You said you don't understand what credit repair is. Can you give me your understanding as far as you know?
I have no understanding. I've never talked to anybody that was in the credit repair business.
Okay. So
I understand how to go in and challenge things that's on your credit. I understand, when things are supposed to fall off.
Why are you challenging things on your credit? This is the problem with credit repair. It's the why. It's not what people are doing. Well, it is what people are doing. But typically speaking, it's the why, right? People are challenging things because I need shit deleted from my credit report so I can go get this car, so I can go get this loan, so I can do whatever, right? But
you also challenging it. You're supposed to challenge it based off of the inaccuracy. So if it's not accurate,
but you do know what credit
that's
repair is, right?
That's the reason that you challenge it, right?
Right.
Like I'll give you an example. I financed my Hyundai Tucson, but I leased the car, but I paid for the entirety of the lease after the first payment.
Right.
Now, for whatever reason, Hyundai doesn't continue to report after you paid off the entirety of the lease. They just leave it there.
Right. But if you had that knowledge, you'd know.
Well, I did have the knowledge. So I already, because I had bought a Hyundai before and I paid cash for the lease, the entirety of the lease. And so what I had to do was I had to challenge it after a couple months in order for them to actually report and give an accurate update of exactly where the payment status is on that particular vehicle.
Right.
So you're challenging the inaccuracy of it also, but I'm trying to understand why people need a credit repair service in order to actually manage their credit and make sure that everything is reported accurately.
You don't. people use credit repair for the same reason why they go to a steak restaurant or whatever the case is. They can do it themselves. And this is what I tell everybody. You can literally do credit repair yourself for the cost of the paper and the postage, right? But the reality of it is most people don't change their own oil, Anton. Most people don't cook their own steaks when they want a really dope steak or when they want a dope experience like that. You pay for the convenience of having somebody else do it for you who may know the Bureau's information a little bit better, who may know how to deal with the creditors or the collection companies a little bit better. Now, here's my stance on this. I believe firmly that 99.9% of credit repair professionals out there can't even read a credit report. So, what they're doing simply is they will have you do things that go against your best interests, like filing an FTC fraud claim and filing identity theft and things like that, which will get information deleted from your credit file temporarily. Even folks who sign up for credit repair under the guise of I'm paying for things to get deleted from my credit file is absolutely wrong. I'll tell you like I tell everybody else who I speak to about this. I'm not going to guarantee you shit in the form of a deletion or in the form of a credit score improvement, because those are two things that are not in my power. However, what I can do is look at your credit.
Jay, you there? Your camera had went out.
Yeah, a phone call came in. But what I can do is I can look at your credit report. I can see what's not being reported properly. I can see what's been re-aged, which is against the FCRA. I can actually have you send me in collection letters, which might be going against the FDCPA, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. All of these things are here to protect the consumer, right? Your duty is to pay your bills. Pay your bills. But even sometimes when you do that, it doesn't get reported properly. So if you don't pay your bills, their job is to collect in a responsible manner. Their job is to report that debt to the bureaus in a responsible manner. I am of the mindset where I don't care what happens with you because you ain't pay your shit. I don't care what happens with them because they're not doing their due diligence and responsibility by reporting everything completely, fairly, accurately, and verifiably. Right? There is responsibilities on both sides of this thing. I am the one who is in the middle.
So there are.
You don't deserve to have that shit removed from your credit report, and I'm not attempting to do that way.
So there are. Okay, so I understand it from your perspective because the difference between you and what I hear other people doing as far as when they talk about credit repair is that you're a beacon of education and that you're helping people also to understand the difference between accurate reporting, what the responsibility is, from the consumer versus what the responsibility is from the lender. As far as these debt collection agencies and everything like that, your level of knowledge and insight also warrants for you, in my opinion, not to even be referring to it as credit repair, right? I don't even think that. What the hell is this happening?
What are you doing over here, dog?
Dog, this is the new Apple software because I'm doing this on my iPhone or whatever.
Just real quick, bro. When I saw you playing with that thing, bro, I got a picture of what you actually be doing offline when you like reset. I could not stop laughing, bro. I was uncontrollable over here. But continue.
I don't think that you can label it credit repair with the level of information and the insight that you're giving because that's not what you're putting out there. You're not putting out credit repair. You putting out information that educates consumers on how it is that they need to be actually participating based off of what the laws are and how we need to be holding companies responsible for A, how they report, B, whether or not they're taking advantage of the consumers, and then C, whether or not they're giving out proper and accurate information. That's not credit repair.
Right. Here's the reason why I still consider it credit repair. Because if you are being held accountable for something you shouldn't be held accountable for, or you're being held accountable for it in a way that you shouldn't be held accountable for, we all agree children should be disciplined, correct?
Yeah, correct.
If my son says something and I just sock him in his mouth because that's what I feel like doing, that's an incorrect way of disciplining my son, right? So there is a way to collect debt responsibly. There is a way to report debt and negative items responsibly.
Right.
The reason why I call it credit repair is because if it's not being done right, your credit report is in fact being injured. Your chances of being financed for whatever reason, whether we agree with being financed or not, are being injured, right? So when you go in and you're able to address those things in a way that brings it back to a space where it is fully functional in the way it's supposed to be, it has been repaired. it is still repair. Now, unfortunately, the name Credit Repair has gotten a terrible
Yeah, it
credit and
has
a
gotten a
horrible reputation, right?
right.
But it is still that, bro. I'm still living in a space. I'm still occupying a space that I have to live in, bro. This is what it is.
Yeah.
However, I am a whole different breed when it comes to this, because you have people out there charging $1,500, $3,000, $5,000, guaranteeing things that they simply don't have the ability to guarantee. While you got somebody like me over here building software that will do it responsibly and not charge you a damn thing as long as you have credit monitoring. So there's
Why,
two
but why wouldn't
different
you?
ways
Why wouldn't you
we're
charge
going
them?
about that.
You providing a service and it's taking your time. Why wouldn't you charge
Because
them?
I own the credit monitoring software, bro, and you should have that anyway. And you have to have the credit monitoring in order to be able to challenge the items effectively. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to take money from you that I don't have to take. It's already going to cost you money to print, stamp, and mail the letter certified. It's already going to cost you money to have the credit monitoring service. So why don't I take a piece of what you have to have and don't charge you for what I don't have to charge you for? If more people approach
But
this
see, the
this
way
way,
that I look at credit is much different than how other people look at credit, right? How people that have resources look at credit and use credit is much different, right? So like I'll give you an example. I would never use credit to go and just randomly buy a pair of jeans, right? Unless, I got to Chase Sapphire Reserve or whatever, so on and so forth, right? I look at credit as an opportunity for you to reduce your taxes.
That's fair.
That's it. Or to, if I have enough resources to where I can
You're
let.
still gamifying it. You're still gamifying it, right?
I am, but it's different though.
But if you don't have good credit, you can't play that game, bro. So you
Listen,
can't tell them, like,
when you have resources,
and don't teach them how to get
when you
there.
have resources, it's not hard to have good credit. That's number one.
Oh, bro, you will be shocked at how many doctors and
Look, yeah, but they're not managing their resources
execs that
effectively.
I have, bro, that don't have a clue.
But here's the other side of it, right? So credit for me is cheaper than for me to spend my own money.
You're right.
And this is why. First of all, it's easier when Mark Zuckerberg uses credit, it's not because he needs credit, right? I'm gonna use an extreme example. He's leveraging credit because he doesn't want to remove his equity in a position of a company and then have to pay the taxes on it. So instead, he uses that equity position in order to get a very, very cheap loan because it's basically guaranteed, right? So that he can reduce his tax burden. And then at the same time, it doesn't cost him more in order to buy that property that he really wants. So he's using it because it's cheaper.
He doesn't have to make tax payments on the loan payments.
But he's using it differently. Correct. He's using it differently because he already has the money. And so when rich people are using credit, but my point is when rich people use credit, they don't need credit. The only time that you're supposed to leverage credit is if you don't need it, but you're using it as a tool in order to prevent yourself from giving out more money, either A, to the federal government, or B, you can make more money as a result of keeping your money in your pocket. But the other side of that equation is that when most people, 99% of the population, are not using credit because they don't need it, they using credit because it's an opportunity for them to buy things that they don't need in order to impress people that don't give a fuck about them. It's different.
Until they come into a person like me, where I teach them how to build that muscle before I tell them to go lift a heavy brick or a heavy boulder, right? What you're doing is saying, hey, once you get to a big boulder, just lift it. You good?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, yeah, you're talking about Zuckerberg and all these people
What
who
I'm
use
saying
loans and
is,
stuff like
what
that,
I'm
bro,
saying
to avoid
is,
taxes, but you can't get there if you don't know how to
no.
get to that point and exercise that in the first place.
If it was me, let me tell you what I would do. If I'm in control, I wouldn't even allow people under 30 to even be able to use credit.
Okay, I agree with that. Okay.
I wouldn't even. I would force, if I want a utopian society. If I'm controlling, if I'm the dictator of this utopian society, I'm not allowing for people to use credit before they're 30 years old, 35 years old, because I believe that you need to put in the work in order to build the assets and be responsible and show yourself worthy of it before you can have access to it. The problem with society is that we run based off of interest, and so we're not a country that actually builds anything anymore. And so as a result of it, we make the majority, or we generate the majority of our income out of thin air as a result of the payments that come along with marketing people for a 30-year mortgage and so on and so forth, right? But if I want to build a utopian society, I first have to educate people, and then I secondly have to put them in a position to actually have resources to not need it in order to leverage it properly. So I wouldn't even let people get access to credit until they're above 30 years old, because then I know that you've built up enough resources in order to use it properly, and your brain is fully developed, and you're in a position to where you understand it responsibly, and then you're able to leverage it a little differently. So I look at it a completely different way. I don't look at it the
You
same
don't,
way as
you don't,
everybody.
you don't talk to enough people about this, bro. I can tell
That's
because
probably
you're
true.
basing it, you're basing it based on age and not financial experience. There's a lot of 35, 40, 45-year-olds walking around here, bro, that can barely turn on a light switch. I'm just telling you like it is, bro. I talk to some people and I'm like, how did you make it out of the womb? How were you the one that got through? And so, like, when you're dealing with that, bro, you have to treat the 18-year-olds like a baby. You have to treat the 30-year-olds like a baby. You got to treat the 50-year-old like a baby and walk them through it. And so, what I'm saying is, you're talking about
But
how
only
the
because
rich are making.
they've been indoctrinated to do the same thing since they was 20, and they just
I want
became
to
hardened
adjust.
in it.
I want to adjust your utopian society recommendations. Although we live in a very different world that is far
Mhm.
from utopian, dystopian, if you will, at this point. Um, It's not based on age. You would like for those who have the money to lose, the discretionary income to play this game. Those would be the only ones who you would allow.
What discretionary income are they making?
Well, I mean, you have to have enough income, like you said, enough income where you're not living a distressed life. Where if you do buy something with a credit card, you can actually pay that shit off immediately, right? So that there is no interest involved. But however, in your dystopian society, credit cards wouldn't exist at all, because if it worked that way, credit card companies would be broke.
Correct.
But anyway, man, I
They
think we
should
hit a
be
lot of
broke the way
paper.
that I'm. Listen, they haven't. They're basically giving me tens of thousands of dollars every single year, and they're doing that because they know that they're gonna make a whole lot more money off the people that's not actually doing the thing in their own best
Sure.
interest.
The
Credit
ones
card
paying that
companies
29% interest are giving us the rewards, bro. Your boys best said it best. What did he say? I forgot. What did that super chat say? Something about until I found out I was a reward point. I like rich people until I found out you guys,
are
you guys
paying.
out there are
Yeah.
paying
So
me in
credit card
reward.
companies essentially shouldn't exist, but it's just a marketing tactic for the bank in order to make more money.
But in a society where the ship has sailed and it's already too late, it will never go back into the harbor. What do you do with people then, bro? And see, that's where I'm at with it.
Well, I'm not trying to fix everybody. I'm only trying to fix my tribe.
Right? You're only trying to fix your tribe the way you want to fix your tribe.
Correct.
That's fair.
And if they want that game, they're gonna have to get it my way. Otherwise, they can go out there and do it the way that everybody else is telling them.
Big facts. Big facts. I appreciate you, bro.
All right, big dog. I appreciate you, Jay. That was a good
Keep doing
conversation,
what you're
bro.
doing, man. What is that?
So that's a great conversation. I love that.
It was awesome, man. It was awesome. I appreciate you for letting me have it, man.
All right, bro. Let me go to David Baker. David, are you there? David, are you there? You want to be on camera or off camera? Okay. This Apple thing. What up, David?
Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're at. I just want to start off by saying I appreciate you giving us the game. Shout outs to you and the bag chasers. I'm unfortunately not a bag chaser. I'm more of a bag pummeler, but I'm going to get on my way. I'm 29. I'm in Portland, Oregon, currently working right now, so I'm just making it fast and sweet.
Okay.
I wrote down a couple of things, some notes. I'm actually under the weather. Y'all need to take care of yourselves. Everyone that's watching this, like the video, and also take care of yourself because it is flu season. All right. Somebody's just coughing and I got it. So really fast, you don't utilize credit cards unless you give rewards. I'm really new to the game, so what commercial bank that you would recommend that's that I could utilize to get past inflation?
What? So you talking about just on some savings type stuff?
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend you leveraging a bank account in order to continue to beat the rate of inflation. You can't. Because the rate of inflation on average over the past few years has been above 5, 6, 7, 8, 9%, depending on what month that you're referring to and what year that you're referencing, right? So for me, I always recommend people getting a brokerage account instead of a savings account. You need regular checking accounts in order to be able to, do regular everyday transactions, right? You get your paycheck, You got to transfer money back and forth through banks. If you own a business, you need a regular business account. But as far as where it is that you're parking money in order to continue to generate more revenue, I recommend people get a brokerage account. The brokerage account is the same as a bank account. It gives you a debit card. It gives you all of that. And I hate recommending Fidelity because they ain't paying me for this. But I leverage Fidelity, right? And the brokerage account allows for you. Now, I'm not telling you to invest your money right away. What I am telling you to do is you need to do some research on what it is that you want to invest your money into. But, just to give you the cliff notes, the fast track is park your money in a space that you can continue to make money. And then when you need access to it, you can access it within 2 to 3 business days by liquidating a position in order to move it into something a lot more lucrative, like a real estate, right? But I recommend people use brokerage accounts instead of regular savings accounts.
I appreciate that, big dog. I really do. About the migrants, I watch you every day, every morning. I have to put you on my headphones because the things that you say sometimes people just come in half things and they just judge and assume.
Mm-hmm.
But the migrants, do you think that since we open up the border, the curve of inflation will go down because we got those basically zero to dollar workers?
I don't think that inflation
Okay.
is going to go. I don't think you're going to see any immediate downturn in inflation. I think that inflation is largely on an individual level going to be dictated based off of where you live and what your lifestyle is. So over in California, inflation is going to continue to go up. The only time that you really see a real market correction when inflation is when you have a crash of some sort, right? So there was a correction in 2008, right, as far as home prices then going down, so on and so forth, and then it becoming more affordable. But then you had to work your way back up because nobody could afford homes, right? One of the reasons, as long as we keep having these disasters, in my opinion, for example, we got this war and we got to fund the war, so we got to continue to print more money in order to do things that we didn't budget for originally. And then you got these migrant crises, so now they're asking for money from the federal government. I think it's actually going to cause more inflation because you got places like Chicago and New York and Atlanta and Denver that's asking for money that wasn't allocated in the federal budget in order for them to continue to house and you know what I'm saying, give healthcare coverage and all of that to these migrants, right? So you may have another workforce, you may have another voting block, you may have some modification as far as more people replacing boomers because they're aging out and we need people to fill these jobs. But also on top of that, the immediate need for you to continue to funnel money that we didn't absolutely plan, and you need to print more money in order to continue to fund these wars and all of that, is one of the reasons why you continue to see inflation. Inflation is the value of your dollar being worth less as a result of whatever is happening in society, right? Cost of goods and services going up, rent goes up, you got to continue to fund wars. We giving out free money because a pandemic hit and you got a stimulus and we need to stimulate the economy. You make money cheaper as a result so you can make people buy more homes. You want to continue to keep jobs, sending out stimulus money, PPP loans. All of that stuff causes inflation, and there's a price to pay on the back end of it. A lot of people is just really not familiar with it because the only thing they care about is the free money, right? So I don't think that any of the things that's happening today, including migrants, and this is just my personal opinion, I don't think that any of the things, including the migrants, is going to reduce inflation. I think it continues to cause inflation. And that's why even though the Fed is raising rates, you don't see any reduction of what it costs you in order to live your lifestyle on an individual basis.
Okay. Man, you know what? You got to give yourself way more credit. I know you love to say that you're a C student, and I learned a lot of vocabulary words from you and watching your show, and egregious is now one of them. And I actually use that from time to time. I learn a lot. So second thing is how do you build up your vocabulary? And then I got to put some pushback on you about
You gotta hurry. You gotta hurry up. You gotta hurry up because I gotta get.
Okay, I'm so
I'll
sorry.
tell you.
I'm so
I'll
sorry.
tell you
All
how I'll tell you how I build up my vocabulary. You want to know?
Okay, all right, and then we're gonna leave that alone.
I record myself. Even people that don't have a
Okay.
content creation platform, if you start do a video journal. You ain't even got to keep it. You can erase it after a week or so on and so forth. But every day do a video journal and then listen to yourself and you'll start to realize what you hate about what you do as far as communicating. Every time, as soon as this Millionaire Morning Show get off, I replay it. I put it on the big TV inside of my office. I replay it and I listen to everything that I said. And it's certain things that I just try to fix every single day that I hate that I say, right? So you'll start to remove the uhs, the ands, the does. You know what I'm saying? All of that type of stuff, it's going to go away the minute that you keep recording yourself. You listen to yourself, you're going to hate the way that you sound, and you're going to want to change things. When I first started doing vlogs, I had a lot of jump cuts. And it wasn't just because it was creative, it looked creative, but it was because I had to edit all of the dumb stuff that I was saying out. Now, I pick up the camera, I start recording, I do one shot, one take. It takes me 8 to 9 minutes in order to record the video, and I drop it. I do hardly no editing when it comes to my vlogging. Zero, because I've taught myself, because it was best for me in order to be able to record a lot quicker and get my thoughts off. Unless I'm doing something creative, like I'm recording in multiple different spaces, I taught myself how to communicate effectively by continuing to record and not liking and making adjustments to how I communicate, which also helped with my public speaking. And it helped with me being confident and speaking publicly, because people can walk past me and see me vlogging and I can no longer care because I've conditioned myself to not care about what other people think. It helps you with public speaking. It helps you to communicate effectively. It also helps you to correct a lot of the things that you don't recognize because you're so used to being around a bunch of people that talk like you. So when you start to record, you start to realize what you don't like about yourself, and then you'll correct those things, and then you'll be a better public speaker and you'll be a better content creator as a result of it.
Thank you so much, Anton. I appreciate your time and letting me get on your platform.
And read some books
And
too.
I'm gonna just
Read one book a month.
Okay. Thank you. One book that you recommend, and are you a LeBron James fan?
I am a LeBron James fan, and
Damn it,
if I'm
my
stuck,
brother knew it.
and if I start with a book for any man, I think that a man should read David Goggins' "You Can't Hurt Me" first.
Thank you, big dog. Have a good night.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. Chris, on camera, off camera. Give me a thumbs up if you want to be on camera. Thumbs down if you want to be off camera. Chris, give me a thumbs up if you want to be on camera. Thumbs down if you want to be off camera. Here, how about I just do this? Give me a second.
On.
Chris, you want to be on camera?
On.
Okay. What's up, Chris? What's the word?
Hey, what's going on, brother man?
Chilling. What you got going on in the background, Chris?
Well, that's the sleeping quarters are behind that.
Okay.
Petition.
What do you disagree with, big dog?
Well, I really don't disagree with anything that you say or have been saying.
Okay.
But in sort of a response to the guy before the last guy who just got through talking to you, or finished talking to you. Well, okay, let's say someone sees a black belt karate professional really put the smack down on someone, and someone who's not even close to a black belt wants to be that one. So the black belt teaches the beginner, and the beginner goes out and thinks that they know everything to get them out of a fight, and they go and they get beat up. They may not, from what I know, if you know a little bit of martial arts, you're going to have some innings in that fight. But you can't, with some of the things that you're talking about and some of the things I know about what you are talking about, you can't just give everybody the bullets and the gun, because someone is going to go out and do something very detrimental to themselves because they don't know the full process, and saying, well, a friend told me, that's not going to get you out of the fire.
Okay, I got you. I think that you talking about what Jay was up here?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that Jay. Let me give a little bit of insight on Jay though. Jay is a incredible guy, right? Incredibly knowledgeable. And I think that it's not that Jay disagrees with me. Jay actually agrees with a lot of what I say, and he gives me more props and more love than anybody. I think the misconception is that Jay is pushing back against me because he thinks that I'm wrong. Jay is pushing me forward because he actually agrees with what I'm doing and my capability to communicate with certain people and reach people, and he wants me to do more. So Jay is really pushing me to be more and to do more with the knowledge that I have, but he challenges me in ways that people may think that he challenges me in ways that people may think that he disagrees with me, when in reality he's really a good brother and he's a phenomenal brother of mine that just wants me to think differently about how it is that I affect, or that I use my platform to affect people. So, whereas it may seem like him and I disagree, the reality is that me and him agree way more than disagree. He just disagrees with my cautious approach to content creation as far as giving out information and giving people what they need in order to be successful.
Okay, because I know how the law really works, right? I know about corpus delicti, and I read the UCC, I read secure transactions, I read the Fair Debt Credit Report Act, I read the Trust and Lending Act, so I know how things work. But a lot of people, they, how it is. Hey, they got time to do everything else, but when it comes to that books, they don't want to hit them books too much.
Yeah.
So you almost want to help the people, but you don't want them to fall and make mistakes, but you don't want to give them all of it, because we were never taught these things in school. No one taught us about, if your face or likeness is not on the money, or if your signature is not on it, well, it's not your debt. But most people wasn't taught these two things about money, and even the etymology behind the word money. So we get out there and we think we do, and well, we don't. But we have this guy right here, Mr. Daniels. He's going along, and he's, hey, okay, I've already stepped on this landmine. Don't walk this path, because you might, Swiss cheese, right?
Yep.
So you're not going to. I've been doing a lot of things for a long time. You're not going to find anybody like you. I mean,
I appreciate that. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, someone saying, hey, of course, hey, I want to get paid back, but I'm not going to have any equity in your business. Hey, I'll give you the startup capital if it's a good business plan, and I see that it's going to make you a profit, and hey, I get paid back. Then okay. Now, I can't walk out of this door right now and find 5 people, count on one hand, who's going to do that without it being pretty much a 90-10 or 60-40 or 70-30 deal.
I got you. All right. I appreciate you, Chris. Thank you for coming on, big dog.
Yeah. I remember you from last Friday. You told me to call in on this Friday, but I know you pretty much like to, go head in with someone who's disagreeing, and we can do all the disagreeing. I kind of disagree that on YouTube, but
Yeah. I got you. Thank you, my friend.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do. But I know you got other calls and other people want to get in and get their whole squeeze of mic, so I'll let you handle your business, bro.
Thank you, my friend. Jarius, I'm gonna come to you next. Let me see if I can get you up here. Yo, Jarius.
What's going on, man?
You want to be on camera or off camera, big dog? I'm gonna leave you off camera because you got a lot going on. So go ahead, big dog.
I wanted to tell you that, like, dude, I love your content, and I've been listening to you for a while. I just started my business, but I'm also driving a truck currently for another company. But one thing I was going to disagree with you about was EVs. And the reason why I was going to disagree about the way you look at EVs is because I think one of the things that you were really right on was about the UAW strike and how Ford, that truck plant is very profitable, and they make a lot of their money on trucks. And one thing I see a problem with EVs,
$25 billion a year they make on trucks. They about, I think they like to a third of the profit of Ford Motor Company with the Kentucky truck.
But see, one of the problems that I see with EVs is I don't see how they're going to be able to make it into the truck market because they simply weigh too much. one of the biggest things that we always try to account for inside the trucking industry is how much a vehicle weighs. This way we have more payload. And payload is basically the weight that you're allowed to carry. And a
Okay.
lot of times EVs, like the F-150, you got the regular F-150 and the Ford Lightning, the
Mm-hmm.
electric one. The
Mm-hmm.
electric one weighs 1,500 pounds more than the regular F-150, and we hear stories that Ford is losing money on selling that truck because simply it's too expensive, it's too heavy, it's not convenient. And then also I heard
Well, they're losing.
recently
But wait. Let's stop there. Let's stop.
30.
Let's talk one issue at a time. One of the reasons why Ford Motor Company is losing money on EVs is because they haven't scaled. If you actually look at the profit margin of EVs for Tesla versus what it is that they're doing over at Ford, Tesla makes more money per vehicle as far as the margin of profit than Ford Motor Company makes on regular everyday vehicles that they sell as internal combustion engines. So scaling actually reduces the costs. And in order to get to that point, you got to remember, Tesla was not profitable for over 10 years from when they started the company. And they just really starting to get to a level of scale to where now they're reducing the costs and they're continuing to reduce the costs that come along with manufacturing EVs. And then in addition to that, they're able to make more adjustments as far as price wars to drive other competitors out of business because they're able to have so much margin and they're continuing to reduce the costs that come along with producing electric vehicles. You got to remember, in order to produce an internal combustion engine vehicle, it has thousands and thousands more parts. You can't control the logistics,
Right.
then become interdependent on suppliers in order to get you. You're not able to control exactly the research and development because you didn't do it yourself, right? There's more that can go wrong with it. So a lot of what these manufacturing companies are trying to do is become technology companies, which then makes it a lot easier for you to be able to reduce the costs that come along with something that's already going to go that way from a technology perspective in the first place. And so you looking at it in a vacuum, and that you think that the fact that they're losing money actually means that they should not adopt technology. They don't have a choice in order to compete. First, secondly, the more that they continue to produce the vehicles and insert research and development in order to reduce the battery costs, the more effective or the more financially sound the business proposition would be for them to actually continue to jump into the business. But it's already coming. That's the thing that people don't understand. If you stay in the combustion engine game, you are going to become obsolete. You are going to die. Your company is going to die. It's happening across the board. You got to remember, American automakers are depending on mindset. They're not back.
Signal.
Are you there?
I missed. Yep, I missed a little bit of what you said because our signal. But I understand what you're saying. When you were talking about how the more you're able to build and mass produce something, it's going to get cheaper to produce it over time. My problem with that proposition is I think a lot of companies are going to lose more money because the thing about it is that we have not developed the power grid. We have not the technology is not coming out fast enough for them to have the cash. I mean, well, keep that cash that they already got, um, and not run through it because they're losing out money. Now I know the government been doing was it subsidies that they call it for electric
Listen,
vehicles,
listen. You got
but
to remember. You got to remember this. They need the profits that's being driven from the internal combustion engines in the trucks in order to continue to invest in a future from an EV perspective. The infrastructure is a completely different conversation. That's your federal government. But that don't have nothing to do with the profitability of the companies themselves and what their strategies are long term.
so you don't think that the government giving an incentive to move over to EV vehicles is not going to like affect it? Because that's the way I'm looking at it. I think that is going to affect it because if there wasn't a push for it from the government trying to make restrictions as far as saying that they're going to do zero carbon emissions, I don't think EV vehicles, especially trucks, will even have a market because they're just simply inconvenient for our kind of market. I think they work better for cars in short term, and lightweight vehicles. If you're going to just drive, 15, 20 miles, I think that's cool. But when we're talking about putting thousands of miles on, and whether you're doing an application to where, like, I used to drive snowplow trucks. We run those bad boys 12-hour shifts each time. So they're running 24/7. They have no time to charge. So I don't see
What if I
where
told you?
a EV.
What if I told you? What if I told you that they already are testing out technology to where they're already testing out technology to where they have EVs that go over 1,000 miles on a charge?
I will believe that, and I understand that, but the problem is, Anton, EVs don't do good with weight. They don't. It's the way they do their batteries. All right, when we got diesel engines, we have this thing called exhaust spray that helps slow down the vehicle. This way, the vehicle is not relying on the brakes all the time. EVs have to rely on their battery power in order for them to slow down the vehicle so it's not relying on the brakes. And it already weighs more than a typical combustion engine. That's why I don't see where it will work for trucks,
It weighs more now.
especially big.
It weighs more now. But what I'm telling you is that as you continue to innovate, things change, it evolves, and it gets to the point to where it's a lot more efficient. And you also got to understand, you only looking at it in a vacuum from the perspective of what it is that you do for a living, right? For the general overall consumer, and both things can exist, especially in the immediate term versus what long term is, you got to understand that most people get in their cars, they go to the store, they go to work, and then they come home. Most people don't need a diesel vehicle in order for them to be able to go back and forth to the store and then go over to their friend's house and go and trick off at the club and get home. I'm telling you, listen. The fact of the matter is, and I understand and I respect your opinion, but this is happening on a mass scale. It is already going in that direction. And if you don't compete as an automaker, you will be out of business within the next 10 to 15 years, and that is guaranteed. You are going to see a consolidation in the market, and I believe that if you don't adopt the technology, whether you like it or not, you are going out of business. That's just a fact. And anybody that's had an EV, I'm going to be honest with you, anybody that's had an EV, very rarely do they ever go back to an internal combustion engine. I hate having to drive my gas cars. I'm going to unmute you in a minute, but it's a lot of feedback. I hate having to drive my gas cars. Rita hates having to go to the gas station or drive those gas cars. Now that we've had EVs and a level of technology and the updates and it automatically send over the cloud in the air updates, it's like driving a regular car, unless you like a racer or unless you got a Hellcat or something like that shit. Driving a regular car after you drove an EV is like pulling out a BlackBerry now that we got iPhones. Honestly, that's exactly what it's like. It's like you feel like you're going back in the day in order to use the technology that's from yesteryear when you jump back in a car. That's just my personal experience with it.
Well, I understand that. I went to the auto show because I'm in Toledo, so we cousins to Detroit. I went to the
I was
auto
there.
show in Detroit, and
I was there.
I got a chance to ride in one of the EVs, and I think it will work in car applications and SUVs for most people. But the thing about it is, I think you're I think you're underestimating how Ford gets a lot of their sales, especially with the trucks. Is a lot of times it's a lot of commercial sales, and a lot of those commercial sales are their trucks. And we know that profit wise, they make most of their money off their trucks. I think EVs will be fantastic for most families. But as far as on the truck side, which everybody has tried to do. I mean, Toyota has tried to bust into the truck market. Nissan has tried to do it. The big three own the truck market, and I don't see where EVs will work inside that application. I think doing the cars, SUVs for like normal average day people, I think it will work. But as far as for like
Watch what happened when the Cybertruck come out.
man, listen, they already had problems with the Cybertruck because
That's cool.
one
They
thing that they
always
were
gonna have
doing with
problems
the
with the first
well,
version
no,
of
but
anything.
hold on. This is where
Watch what happened.
they had this is what happened with the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck, they were comparing it. up against the F-150. The problem with that is when they went and weighed it, it weighed as much as an F-250.
And I'm going to have me a F-250 Cybertruck in my driveway.
Nah, fam.
I can't wait to get my hands on a
Listen,
Cybertruck.
they got alternative combustion engines also. Cummins is literally working on doing hydrogen.
They can do whatever they want. Rivian is selling a ton of Rivian pickup trucks. And I'm going to listen. The reservation amount for Cybertrucks are so high. You watch. We're going to have this conversation a year from now, and I want you to keep that same sentiment.
Okay. Listen,
they literally have millions of reserve orders of Cybertrucks.
All right, man. I don't think it's going to work, bro. They
Okay.
weigh too much.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I was on the skeptical side of what you were on, and I was late to the party when it came to investing in Tesla because I said I don't think it's going to work.
I'll invest in Tesla.
No. I didn't think the fundamentals of the company made sense as far as EVs themselves. I drove one. I started seeing the profits that came along with the company, and I'm just going to tell you, as a person that talks money, I completely fucking missed the mark. I missed the mark so bad. I was one of those people that was like, it'll never happen, this and that. I could not have been any more wrong than on that. I hate to admit it publicly. I have been so wrong on when Tesla first came out in the beginning of it and all of this other type of stuff. I will never not take advantage of and pay attention to what technology is going to do as far as a disruption to what's happening in our industries. I underestimated it. I had the same sentiment as you had, and I'm never going to make that mistake again. You only got to teach me once.
One time, bro. Oh, and I need a coaching call, man. I joined the Bag Chase. I joined your Patreon, man, and it said that you weren't taking any more coaching.
Temporarily, I wasn't taking it temporarily. We opening it back up though. I got you.
Okay. All right, then, bro. Well, I don't want to keep taking up your time, man. It was nice chopping it up with you. Hopefully, one day I can meet you, man.
I'm always in People City. Come pull up, man.
Yeah, man. 45 minutes, bro. I'll make it up there. All right,
All
bro.
right, my friend.
Peace out, man.
All right, peace. JC, on camera, off camera. JC, are you there? Look like you frozen. Thumbs down, off camera. Thumbs up, on camera, thumbs down, off camera, JC. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. JC, you there? Can you hear me, JC? Thumbs down. You off camera. Go ahead. You can talk.
Yeah, I'm off camera for now.
Yeah, I got you. You on? I can hear you. What's happening, big dog? JC, you got a lag. You got a delay for some reason.
Thumbs down. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Anton?
You got a lag, bro. You lagging like a few minutes for some reason.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
You lagging, JC. You lagging bad.
Give me 1 second, because now I can't hear you. Give me 1 second.
You listening to me through YouTube. You got to listen to me through the method by which we communicating.
Okay, let me try to come back.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for JC. In the meantime, let me see what's happening out here in these streets. Hold on 1 second. All right, JC, what's happening?
Anton, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's the word?
All right, perfect, brother. Hey, man. I know it's been a long time since, we've conversated, and I just wanted to, to share my appreciation towards, your wisdom, and what you've, passed along all these years, and I commend your discipline for, everything that you've been doing. A lot of people are not aware of how hard it is that you work, outside your content and so forth. And I was listening to the conversation that you were having with Optimus Prime earlier today, and and I agree with what you were saying. I think leveraging credit is different for people, and but a lot of people are not ready for that type of higher level game, because like you
Yeah.
said, a lot of people don't have the character, for
Yeah, I
that.
think that it's some work that we still have to do with the majority of the people
Yeah.
in order to get them to the position to where I think that they can use it responsibly. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And the thing is that, people make it seem that you can just hit six figures or hit seven figures overnight. And sometimes, you got to slow cook that. You can't just, reach the end of the road, right off the gate. It takes time. Like I've been listening to you for now 3 years, and with me, it's been a process. You know what I mean? Like I started off listening to you, and I wasn't doing nothing but working 40 hours a week. And then when I started
Yeah,
listening to
you've
you,
evolved a
I was
lot.
like,
You've changed the whole.
Yeah, man. And it was little by little, you know what I mean? I started listening to you, working just 40 hours a week, doing nothing with my life. And dude, once I started listening to you, I was like, damn, he's making sense. He got all these resources and everything. So I bumped up my hours from 40 hours a week, to working 85 hours a week, and then I started listening to you talking about the real estate game, how, people, try to put the minimum down instead of 20% and all this stuff. So I took that game, and put down 30% on my first investment property. You know what I mean? And then I was like, okay, so I kept on listening to you about corporate America, how people don't leverage, what they have in their current jobs. And then, I started realizing, okay, let me actually talk to HR, see what benefits I have over here.
Yep.
And then I put myself in an employee stock program that had 12% discount rate. Obviously the
Yeah, the
matching 401k.
ESPP. ESPP.
What's up?
The
Yeah, the
ESPP.
ESPP.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Where that's actually where my bonus actually comes from for most of the part. That's where my biggest bonus comes from, and people are
It's
not
free
aware of
money.
that.
It's free money.
What's up?
It's free money, but most people don't invest in it because they can't afford to allocate that 10% out of their paycheck over into that employee stock purchase program, because their lifestyle dictates that they need every single dime, because they've adjusted it based off of the payments that they may be having to pay based off of the credit, instead of the opportunities that they
Mm-hmm.
want with being a little bit more responsible with your resources, right? And so that's the thing that I want to try to
Exactly.
tell people, is that you mine this stuff out and you really reverse in exactly how it is that you live in, that allows for you to get it on the back end. Because when you're able to not need the money, you can then get it on the back end and make more money in return, versus all of the money that you need on the front end in order for you to be able to support a lifestyle that comes along with financing your lifestyle based off of credit, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. No,
Yep, yep.
and dude, it's just and it's like what you were saying, it's like people end up getting stuff, getting this credit and all this stuff to portray a lifestyle for people that don't even really like them, instead of just actually ducking down for a good 7 to 10 years and doing what they're supposed to do for their best interest. Like I
Yeah,
told
it
you,
flies by.
last year I moved. Yeah, like last year, dude, I moved to my mother's house with my whole family, with all my four kids and whatnot. You know what I mean? And then dug down for a whole year and a half, and I rented out my property, and then I had the investment property, and just leveraging that and so forth. And people are not aware that it's okay to go back to your mother's basement in order to actually do the best thing was best for you, for the long haul.
Yep.
And then I started realizing, okay, I'm listening to you because you don't understand, you be dropping gems every time, dude. Like, so once I started listening to you about the education process and what you did to go to college, I talked to Lewis, one of the other
Talk to
back
Lewis
faces
today.
that has your coach.
He's one of the
Yeah, yeah,
he's one of the seat at the table members. I coach him all the
yeah.
time.
Yep. So he started coaching me. And then, I was able to get into a program for cybersecurity at a university. 'Cause it was going to be between a boot camp or a university. And I was like, damn, I know the university is more of a good play, than the long haul. So, we were able to find a university that not only I will get my bachelor's degree, but at the same time, I'm getting 11 industry certifications at the same time while I'm in the school. And not only that, but I'm also getting paid for going to school. So I'm not even paying anything for it. You know, my bachelor's degree is coming at $0. So I have no
Yep.
student loan debt at all.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So all these
But
different things,
they
you
don't
know,
catch all of
and
that
like I
part that
said,
I talk about.
yeah, they don't. And the thing is that this is a process, you know, to say all of this, it's a process. This has been 3 years of me listening to you and just putting in the work day in and day out. And man, sometimes it gets tiring, man. And sometimes it gets boring because, you know, discipline, it doesn't look good. It looks a very, very boring lifestyle. You know, you have to kind of just sit down and do the same thing over and over and over again and say no to a lot of things that your friends want you to do, to go out, to party, this and that. I was like, no, I can't do that. You know, I have a bigger purpose and a bigger vision for what I want my life to look like, especially for my children. You know, so all these things, man, you know, I just wanted to say thank you for all these gems that you dropped and to share to people that, hey, look, you know, success doesn't just come, you know, in a year or 2 or 3. You know, I'm still in the process right now. I'm still a work in progress, but I'm getting there.
You
Like
there?
right now, I
You
actually
getting
had to
there?
just give, I huh?
You getting there? You got it.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm almost there, man. I'm almost there. Like, look, check this out. Like yesterday, I had to drop the bomb on my manager. Like, you know, I told her, you know, I'm giving you a month notice. You know, I forgot a 2-week notice. I gave a month notice. You know, I've been with the company that I'm in already for almost 3 years and everything because I got a better opportunity for a management position with a good friend of mine that he's the director for like 15 years in a property firm. So now I'm getting into the management position, and he told me, look, this is gonna actually help you out because since you're going for your bachelor's, you're going to have management experience under you. And now you're going to get the network that I have for people in the industry that you're looking to actually go into, which is a cyberspace. So he's looking out for me. So it's
Shout
all
out to
about
you,
even the
Jason. Shout out to
yeah,
you.
so it's the
Proud of
networking, you know, but all these things I learned from you and being in the back chasers. You know, I haven't been, you know, conversating a lot in the back chasers in the Discord, but that's because I have a lot on top of me. You know what I mean? I have to do what I need to do, but I'm always paying attention. I'm always listening. I'm always in the background. And, you know, it just takes time, you know, and like I said, right now, you know, and also reducing the cost. You know, some people are just, you know, one payment away from a health losing everything that they have, you know. And that's
Yep.
another thing that people don't understand. Sometimes leveraging credit might not look like, you know, like it's in the positive direction. For example, I had an SUV that had an equity on of $9,000, right? So what did I do with that? I had some debt that I needed to pay off. So I was like, okay, perfect. You know what? Let me trade in this SUV in. I'm going to get $9,000 back in return. I'm going to jump on a Corolla, right? A little Corolla, have less payments, and use that $9,000 to pay off my debt. So I have no consumer debt at all either.
Shout out
You
to
know what I mean?
JC killing the game out here in these streets.
You know, and I listened to what you did with your car when you traded in your car. I think you got like $4,000 back or
Oh, you
something like
talk?
that.
Wait,
Well, I
wait.
got
You talking about what I talked about in the Patreon?
yeah. Exactly. The video that you told us about. Yeah.
That whole video was a gem for y'all. That's not for the
My
general
fault.
public.
My fault. My
I
fault. My
showed
fault.
y'all.
I
I
got ahead
gave
of
y'all the
myself.
receipts. I took y'all through the process of what I did, all of that, so on and so forth. That whole method by which I executed, that is not for the general public. That's not for everybody. That's for the bag
My
chase.
fault. My fault. I got ahead of myself, man. I'm just excited, dude. I'm just excited for like the future. You know, the future looks bright. You know, it is a lot of hard work, and dude, I tell you this much, man. The woman that's right beside you makes a big difference. It can be either your biggest liability or your biggest asset. And I'm so thankful to God that I have a great asset right behind me, man.
Shout
Because
out to you,
could you,
JC, man. That's dope,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, man, and I can't wait till you do the next meetup here in Miami, dude, and do my you know, my
See,
drinks
you
will
met
be
me in
your
person,
drinks will be
so
on me. Huh? No, yeah,
you
dude,
know
and I
me in
was
real
there.
life.
No, I know you in real life, yeah, but man, I want more time, you know, to chill with you, man, because last time when I was there, dude, I had to like run off because you know I had the babysitters, you know, taking care of the kids, and I had to
Yeah.
just go and dip out. But dude, man, I appreciate you, man, and everything that you're doing. That real talk, man, I appreciate everything.
Yeah, I got love for you, JC, man. Congratulations. Tell the little lady I said hello. All right, big dog.
Will do, man. Will do, man.
Stay
Appreciate you, man.
focused.
Love you, bro.
You on your way, bro. Let's stay on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, big dog.
All right, man.
Hey Cole, I'm gonna come to you next, big dog. Give me a second. Hold on. Hey Cole World, you want to be on camera or off camera? You gotta give.
I'm cool to go on camera. I'm cool to go on
You
camera.
sure?
You know, if no one else is doing it, I don't mind. You know what? I'll stay off camera.
All right.
It doesn't
What's
matter to
happening,
me.
Cole?
I'll stay off
Cole World in the building. What's happening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First of all, I just want to give you your flowers. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Tons have been watching you for years. Definitely been learning a lot, especially in the bag chases. I won't expose too much, but I
Yeah,
want to give
don't
you
give them the
number
secrets.
one
Don't give
because
them the secrets to the greatness.
yeah. You know, just I first, you know, I got to give you flack because, like, you know, you're one of the few real people on YouTube. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people out here that are really like, even the game you give out here, like on the general public, is crazy. So, you know, anyone that's watching that's skeptical about you, I just want to say, first of all, like, yo, this guy's legit, number one. But
Don't sell them
yeah,
on it.
but
You just take the game for yourself.
I'm saying, but yeah, but you know, like, one thing I didn't like talk to you about was just definitely that I agree with most 99% of what you say, but except
All
for
right,
the
hold me
EV thing,
accountable.
I definitely want to
The-
talk to you about the EVs.
all right, so you hold me
Oh,
accountable on the EVs. What's wrong with the
yeah,
EVs?
yeah. The only thing I see with I see with the EVs is like it's still very early for the general public. You know what I mean? In terms of like them even getting attainable EVs, making sure that they have like the amount to even, you know, repair these EVs, because there's so many benefits of EVs, but the real problem comes along when repair costs come along, like with these batteries and all type of, and finding even good technicians to even deal with, like, you know, the ability to even fix up these cars.
I
And like
agree. I don't disagree with you.
me personally, the
Right
only
now,
thing that I
right
really
now, I'm fighting back and forth with the insurance company because they only want to pay $60 an hour, and their shop that they required us to go to is saying that they need $80 an hour to repair the Porsche, and literally, they still got to pay for it, right? Regardless, so that's between the shop and the insurance company. They're gonna have to work that out. But I just got a letter. Hold on, let me show you what this letter is. Hey, Rita, she in there. I just got a letter from Progressive. Um, Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Saying that they don't even want to renew my policy after next year because of how much they got to pay for the repairs of the EV. So I don't disagree with you on that. Like, I think that there's some work to do as far as driving down the repair costs, and insurance companies is charging an egregious amount as a result of it, and all of this other type of stuff. So I don't disagree with you on that. We don't have
yeah,
a.
for sure. You know, and sorry, you're saying?
I said we don't have a disagreement with regard to the repair costs that come along with driving EVs. 100%.
Yeah, and then another thing I'll note as well too is, like, me personally, the like, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm definitely looking into investing into EVs. Like, I'm trying to do the gas station plan, that set it up at like different houses, get those chargers going, because it is gonna grow. But me personally, like, why I personally like don't see myself even like having an EV for a while is just because of, like, it's the politics at play with the EVs. Like, well, who's to say that these EVs can't be shut off remotely, like these iPhones and these other
Oh,
devices?
that don't even
And
matter.
it's
Technology, you're not going to slow technology. Listen, that's like telling us not to go into artificial intelligence. It's going to be a race to the bottom. The world is going to end
okay.
eventually.
Well,
So we just wait for it to
yeah,
happen
that's
and
true.
enjoying the ride while we're here. But if you're trying to prevent yourself from embracing technology as a result of out of fear, we already there. It ain't everything that you got as far as your life is already online. If technology shut down today, your job probably wouldn't even be in existence. So we already
That's
here
a
on
hundred
on
percent
that front.
facts. Yeah, that's 100% facts. Like, look, I work remotely. You know what I mean? One of the few people that could do it because of the industry I'm in, right? And hey, if I didn't work remotely, like, I probably wouldn't have my opportunities right now. So that's 100% true. But
Mm.
you know, I guess it's just like, you know, me embracing a little bit too much of like I guess you can say I'm a bit nihilistic on that stuff, because it's just like, as a person who takes like freedom seriously, like I just see EVs as like a gateway drug. But you're right. If I'm gonna embrace AI, because I already know the dangers of AI, but we all know where it's gonna end. But it's just like, all right, let's just use it while we still can until the Lord comes back, pretty much, and all of this comes to light. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you got a point on that.
Yeah.
You got a point on that for sure.
All right, hey Cole, I appreciate you for coming through, big dog.
No
Thank you,
problem,
my friend.
bro. Have a good rest of the show, and thank you for doing what you do.
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna take one more caller. Let's do this. John, what up, John?
What's up, man?
Chilling. What's the word, big dog?
So I'm over here chilling on Instagram, right? And the Shade Room just made this post about Will Smith and Jada, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why is she bringing up Tupac? How he
Oh
wrote
yeah, I
her
heard about
from the
that.
jail? And
Yeah,
how
I
far
heard
do you
about
think
that.
this is gonna go? Is she gonna
Well, she
live?
just dropped the book, I think, today. So
She
they gonna
did,
probably So everybody getting all of the tea.
but
Go
the
ahead.
thing is, do you think that she is gonna dethrone the king or dethrone the prince? Like, is his career gonna go all the way down because of this? Because now,
No, I
when
think
I
Will is gonna be fine. I think that at some point he got to let her go, though.
yeah,
He got to
because when
let her
I
go.
view him,
When you
oh my
get to
bad.
the point to where it's getting this bad, you got to let her go.
Yeah, that is true. Because when I viewed him on Fresh Prince of Bel Air, I was like, man, he the dude, tall. He got all the women, but now it's looking like, crying Jordan face to me.
Yeah, I think that he got to let her go eventually. We're gonna discuss it on Fight Club tonight, so that's gonna be dope. But yeah, I don't think that she can dethrone Will. I think Will is too talented to be dethroned. I think he's wounded, but it's up to him of whether or not he want to continue to come out of this by letting her go. So this is one of the very rare situations where I say that people should get divorced. First of all, their kids is grown.
Yeah,
They no longer interdependent on him. I think that he should let her go. I think he should completely
yeah,
let her go. The only
yeah,
reason
for
I
sure.
think that he keeping her is because she probably got key. She knows some stuff, but he got to let her go. He got to let her go.
Hopefully, it's not too crazy. And then second thing, real quick. So I just moved up here to Chicago maybe like a year ago, right? And there is some migrants, but I'm not really seeing these 21 buses that keep pulling up.
Oh, you'll see him. Don't worry about it. You'll see them.
But
They'll start to filter out into your neighborhoods, and you see them in your grocery store. Look, if you go over to Minnesota, Minneapolis, yo, there are so many Somalis over in Minneapolis.
that's crazy.
It's a ton of Somalians over in Minneapolis. Real talk. That's
But
just a fact. Like
I'm
you'll
gonna have to go
see
check
them.
them
Don't
out.
worry about it. They're gonna be building your houses. They're gonna be working at your jobs. They're gonna move from temporary status to actually being able to have work. They're gonna become legal residents in the United States of America. They'll be there.
They probably will. I'm probably like 20. So I stay out in the suburbs because in the city it's absolutely ridiculous. Rents is crazy. People gonna probably take a dump on your doorstep. It's crazy. Uh, you want to interview with a migrant?
Nope.
No.
Not
You
interested
sure?
at all. Nope.
I can pull up.
I'm straight. I'm good.
I got you. I got you though. But yeah, that's all I had wanted to say. That Will and Jada Smith stuff is crazy. Oh, I got my little dog right here. Yeah, that stuff is crazy though, man. But that's all I had wanted to say.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for coming through, bro.
Yes, sir. You have a good day, man.
You too. All right, let me read some of these super chats, and then we're gonna go from there. It's been an excellent show. Thank y'all for coming through on these Friday. Y'all know that I allow for everybody to be able to come up as much as possible. Exotic Papa says, news reporter said a dude tried to stop another man from fighting with his chick, and he got his ass smoked. And a woman drove off with her dude. Gosh. And I believe it too. I absolutely believe it. Thank you, Exotic. Cassandra, what up, Cassandra? Says people need to stop trying to put Anton in the box. The way Anton operates is not for everyone. Anton, keep doing things that your way. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, love. Junior VK says, Bro is completely wrong. Most people don't even have $500 for an emergency. Most people are not credit people and have no discipline. Stop the cap. He also says, do not let this guy get you jammed up with credit. No, Jay Wolfen is a good guy. Jay Wolfen is one of the real ones. He's one of the real ones ever. Greatness to Work says, we are the only group of people that speak from an individual mindset. Those with power all move as a group of one. Down, hashtag down 100. Everyone can go. What up, Tone? What up, Greatness to Work? What up, Bam? I appreciate you, big dog. Martin Meck is in the building, says, I smell opportunity. Elaborate on this app. What app? What app are you referring to, my friend? Speeds the Beast says, shout out to you out here leading the people in the right direction. One step at a time, Speeds. Forsaken Archives, I appreciate you, says, I think Will should let her go. He tried. Don't be afraid of failure. Yeah, I think you got to let that go. Will can do better by himself, for sure. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in today. It's been an awesome show. Aaron says I'm still banned in Chicago. Aaron, why am I banned in Chicago? So are you. Aaron ain't been to Chicago either. Aaron is banned from Chicago. If I'm banned, then Aaron banned. When I get unbanned, then Aaron can come back to Chicago too. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for rocking out. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, make sure you get that Tiege Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Shout out to the Tiege. Fight Club tonight. I love y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.